Hello, good afternoon. My name is Richard. This is over and over and over again. This is Matchday Live. It is Bournemouth versus Arsenal from the, is it still called the Vitality Stadium? Anyway, it's at Bournemouth's ground, whatever it's called, whatever the new sponsor is. It's coming up the other side of this. It's going to be a good game, so stay with us. It's going to be good. So Bournemouth then away. There were rumours, wasn't there, that Arsenal had a bit of an injury crisis, but we have got the team news for you, and it's been a little bit overly exaggerated, the extent of our injuries. So this is our Arsenal lineup today. It's David Raya in goal, of course, the now first choice Premier League goalkeeper. Back four: Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Alexander Zinchenko. Pretty much the full strength back four, of course. In midfield, Declan Rice is fit. Martin Odegaard, the captain. Kai Havertz is in the side again. Well, Arteta's certainly given him plenty of opportunities, isn't he? And in the front three, Bukayo Saka is fit. We knew he would be. He's always fit, isn't he? And then it's Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus, which didn't really work last week, but he's going with it again because Arteta doesn't like to change things even when they don't work, do they? Anyway, on the bench then, Aaron Ramsdale, Jacob Kiwior, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Mohamed Elneny, Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, Emil Smith-Rowe, Leandro Trossard, and Reece Nelson. So that is the Arsenal side. Not too many surprises there, really, was there? I say Kai Havertz in the side, maybe a little bit of a surprise, but I think Fabio Vieira did have a bit of an injury. For the host, Bournemouth, then it's the Brazilian Neto in goal, their captain. They're back for Max Aarons, Ilian Zabranyi, who's another Ukrainian, Marcus Sanisi, and Milos Kirkej, and he's Hungarian defender. In midfield, Philip Billing, Lewis Cook, and Marcus Tavernier. And in their front three, Ryan Christie, Dominic Solanke, and Justin Cliver. On the bench then for Bournemouth is goalkeeper Ionu Radu, Adam Smith, Anton Samayo, Haned Traore, David Brooks, Joe Rothwell, Dango Otara, Luis Sinestera, and Kiefer Moore. So there you go. There's your lineup. So what are we making of the Arsenal lineup today? I say it looks like all of those injuries were slightly exaggerated, which I'm not really surprised about. Bit of mind games there from Mikel Arteta, but well, we don't know exactly if they're all 100% fit, are they? We've got Steve in the chat here. Steve, he says Rice is okay. I thought he got hurt bad. No, it was. I think they were over exaggerating the extent of his injury just to make people worry. Really, like a bit of gamesmanship, I think it was. Yeah, it is pretty much the full strength team, isn't it? The Kai Havertz one's an interesting one, isn't it? It's always going to divide opinion, isn't it, really, with Kai Havertz in the team? Should he be in the team? Should he be left out? I thought he played okay the other night against Brentford in the Carabao Cup, and he's done okay, hasn't he? But I think that there's still, the jury's still out on him, and Mikel Arteta sticking with him despite the criticisms that have come towards Kai since the start of the season. I don't think he's been playing badly. He just hasn't been playing fantastically. And for a £65 million player, you just expect more from him, don't you? There's not really too many more excuses we can make because he's played plenty of games now. He's getting plenty of minutes on the pitch, and he still hasn't really found his feet, as he still hasn't really settled in and in a consistent kind of manner. And you know, however, I'm not saying he's playing badly because I don't think he is. But for £65 million, you just want a little bit more, don't you? Really, for that money. And I know you shouldn't really look at the money side of it, but you have to, don't you? We've paid a lot of money for this guy, and we expect a lot more from him, and we need a lot more from him, don't we? We've got our old friend Off-Road. How you doing? Good to see you again. He says, no Martinelli, we need him. No, he is still injured. He is a genuinely injured. We know that. He picked up an injury, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago. He's not here yet. Yes, we are needing him, but then Trossard, is he not the ideal replacement? Yes, we don't know his fitness. He has missed the last couple of games. He's on the bench today. Smith-Rowe is another one who could play that role. You know, now he's gone with Eddie again. I don't know what Eddie's got over him. Eddie seems to have something over Arteta, doesn't he, to keep picking him. I don't know what it is. Him and Kai Havertz have probably been our two, I wouldn't say worst performing sounds bad, but they've certainly been the two players that haven't maybe got to the level that we need him to be, and yet they constantly get picked week in, week out, which I'm finding baffling when there are other options. If there was no other options, I'd say fair enough. They've got to play. Like when Rob Holding had to play last year, it's like, well, there's no one else. We've got other options. We're not using them. And this is something that Mikel Arteta has got to answer to if we don't get the result today. I personally think we will. Bournemouth are struggling. And this is a game that we have to win, quite honestly, isn't it? You know, if we're serious about being contenders, this is a game we have to win. Man City win this game every single time, don't they? So we need to go to Bournemouth and win. We've got a decent record there. Yes, we did have one or two. You remember that 3-0? We were 3-0 down and came back to draw 3-0. That was a couple of years, well, 3 or 4 years, no, probably more than that now, wasn't it? And we did lose, of course, 2-1 here as well. Our only ever defeat to Bournemouth, that was in 2017, I think that. We've got a comment there from Steve. He says, "Where's Trossard?" Oh, he's on the bench. That's where he is. How fit he is, I don't know, but he's on the bench anyway. So not really too sure whether he's going to play today. But yeah, we've had some mixed results at Bournemouth over the years, but we've also had some very good results against them. Of course, last season was a really good performance, wasn't it? That 3-0 victory, that brilliant goal from William Saliba, of course, his first goal for the club on this ground last season. Martin Odegaard scored 2 as well in that 3-0 victory. Of course, this was the fixture, wasn't it? Mikel Arteta's first ever match as Arsenal manager, December 2019. Of course, he took the side. It was a 1-1 draw that day, wasn't it? We came back from 1-0 down. Somebody called Aubameyang or something like that scored Arsenal's goal. Not too sure what happened to him. Obviously, he wasn't a very good Arsenal player because Mikel Arteta got rid of him not long after that, did he really? So he couldn't have been that good, could he? But he scored our first goal under Mikel Arteta, got us a draw. And probably one of the only goals he scored for him, more than likely, I would imagine. I don't really know. So that was Mikel Arteta's first game, and now he's back there again for this particular game this afternoon. It seems to be quite sunny down in Bournemouth, actually, which is nice. The sort of autumn, or I suppose you could call it late summer. It's pretty much autumn, really, isn't it? Down there on the south coast in Bournemouth, a little bit colder than maybe last season's visit, which was, of course, earlier in the season. So Arsenal unbeaten, of course, as we know. If you take into account the charity or the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup and the Champions League, it's actually 9 games this season unbeaten. Bournemouth haven't won yet. They've got 3 draws and 3 defeats in the Premier League. Only 3 points. They're just sitting outside that bottom 3. They're in trouble. They need some results, don't they? Let's be honest. They are really in trouble. But they do have some decent players in their team. I'm quite surprised they're not doing slightly better. I really do like Philip Billing, the Danish midfield player. I've admired him for quite some time. I think he's a very, very good player. He's a sort of player that I wouldn't mind having at Arsenal in that midfield. You know, when we were looking at buying somebody to replace Granit Xhaka, instead of getting Kai Havertz in, who's not that sort of player, Philip Billing would have been a much better fit, wouldn't he, for what we need in that position. But anyway, Philip Billing's one to watch for me. Dominic Solanke's in the goals this season for Bournemouth as well. He's going to be a threat. And yeah, I think we're going to have to play well, aren't we, to win? I think in any Premier League team, we're going to have to play well, aren't we, to win away from home, and that's going to be the case today. But yeah, we need to just keep going. Be patient in this game and keep playing our football. I'm sure we've got better players than Bournemouth. Let's be honest, and we should be winning this game. We've got a stronger side out than most of us thought we were going to have. So obviously, come on, Palace. Are Palace playing Man City today? Is that what they're playing? I haven't looked at the fixtures. I've been busy today. Steve says, Rich, who's winning, Spurs or Liverpool? Well, I don't really care, if I'm honest. A draw would be nice, wouldn't it? A draw would be nice, let's be honest. Palace are playing Man U, are they? Well, we don't really care about Man U, do we? They're just rubbish. They can do what they want. We are miles ahead of them. The only team that we need to really drop points at the minute is Man City, because they've got this advantage already early in the season. So it's something that we need to hope that they drop some points. We've got to keep winning our games, actually. I don't really mind. I don't care too much about the other team's results. We have to keep on winning. That's all we can do. Win as many points as we can. And then hopefully at the end of the season, that's where you are, aren't you? You finished where you are. So let's worry about our results. How the other teams do, we can't control it anyway, can we? We don't control anything other than our own performances and our own results. The teams are now in the tunnel. Arsenal, of course, being led out by captain Martin Ødegaard. Arsenal wearing that ridiculous luminous yellowy green shirt with the black zigzaggy lines all over it, which looks terrible. I know some people have said, "Oh well, you know, when the bruised banana kit came out, everybody thought that was terrible, and now it's iconic." And they're trying to make out that this is going to happen to this kit. I'm sorry, it won't. This kit will always be horrendous, and even in 10, 15 years' time, it will still be horrendous. So let's not pretend any otherwise. But Arsenal wearing that, we did win, of course, in midweek. Brentford in their usual black and red stripes, slightly more black in their stripes than red these days. I'm sure that used to be a little bit more AC Milan like, but it's sort of changed now, isn't it? But anyway, Otto says he can't stand them always. No, I mean, no one likes Man United, let's be honest. Nobody likes them, but I don't really care if they win or lose now, because they're not really a team that we need to be concerned about, are they? We've got bigger fish to fry at the moment, haven't we? Man City are the team, and obviously Tottenham at the moment as well. Let's be honest, Tottenham are going well, and Liverpool. So that game's quite a big game, isn't it, between those two? But I say a draw would be nice, and everyone drops points, don't they? And that's ideal for us. We've got Terry in as always. He says, "Afternoon, Richard. What less can Havertz do to not get a start? ESR sitting there must be scratching his head." I mean, it's interesting. I don't know whether you saw ESR's interview the other night after the game. And he was talking about how Mikel Arteta is working on things in training, right? Positional things and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, 2 years ago, Emile Smith-Rowe basically saved Arteta his job, playing his natural game, right? Why is Arteta trying to change that? You've got a talented player in Emile Smith-Rowe, and you're trying to make him do stuff he clearly isn't comfortable with. This is why he's not been playing, because he's not in training. He's not able to maybe do the role or the way that Mikel Arteta wants him to play. Well, I'm sorry, but you let a player like Emile Smith-Rowe, yes, he's got to fit in with the structure of the team. Of course he has, but don't restrict him. Don't, you know, it seems to me, though, he looked to me, and maybe I read it wrong, Emile Smith-Rowe looked quite upset when he was asked about it, talking about, you know, working hard in training and all this kind of stuff. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you've got nothing to prove, mate. You kept him his job 2 years ago. You and Bukayo Saka kept him his job. The pair on your own, pretty much. So you've got nothing to prove to him, and it's ridiculous that this is a situation. I totally agree. Emile Smith-Rowe should be in the side ahead of Kai Havertz, 100%. Two Spanish managers, of course, they're just having an embrace on the side of the pitch there. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It is honestly ridiculous. But I was quite upset watching that interview with Emile, actually, because it looked as though he's unhappy. He kept saying things like, "Oh yeah, him and Mikel Arteta have got no issues." And Arsenal put a training picture out, didn't they, of Emile Smith-Rowe laughing, standing next to Mikel Arteta in training. What a PR stunt that was. You know, yes, there was probably some funny stuff going on in front of them, making out as though, oh yeah, they're best buddies. They're not. Emile Smith-Rowe is unhappy. There's no question about that. And yeah, it's a situation that needs to be sorted out. He needs to be playing. He proved the other night, you know, he played 82 minutes. He played pretty well. You can't tell me he's not a better option than Kai Havertz, or even Eddie Nketiah in that left-hand sided role. Put Jesus through the centre. You know, better options. Why is he not doing it? There's a problem there. It's a massive problem there, and it needs to be sorted out. Personally, I know which one of those two I would like out of the club, and it certainly isn't Emile Smith-Rowe. But something needs to be sorted out, because he's a talented player. He can help us a lot. And what you said the other day about having to work on his position, I'm sorry, mate. No, you don't have to do that at all. Mikel Arteta needs to give you opportunities to play your game, because without him, Mikel Arteta would be a number two somewhere else now, wouldn't he? He wouldn't be the manager of Arsenal. He'd be somewhere else as a number two, or sitting on the beach doing nothing, back in Spain where he should be. Anyway, Terry says, "Afternoon, Steve, and off-bar. Good to see you guys in the chat." Yeah, should be a funny one today, won't it? It'll be a good one, won't it? Steve says, "Yeah, Terry played at Kiss played at grand final today. My team won. I'm on a high." Oh wow, good stuff. I'm glad they won. That's good stuff. Well, hopefully Arsenal can repeat that for you. We'll have to see. Ovbo says there, ESR must have issues with Arteta. 100% he does. Yeah, he's a talented player, but you have to have an Arteta yes man to get in this. So yeah, you have to. You know, the fact he said the other day, didn't he, that he's had to work on positional things. Arteta's more obsessed and focused on this style of play, this system, rather than the individual players inside it. And you've got to be able to mix that. You've got to get that balance right, haven't you? You know, we lost Kieran Tierney because Kieran Tierney couldn't play that inverted left back role that Zinchenko does. Even though the fact Zinchenko being out of position defensively to cost us so many goals, one of the reasons why we had one of the worst defensive records out of all the top teams last season. And you know, we've lost a great defensive player, and we're going to lose Emile Smith-Rowe as well. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to go. Absolutely will, because why would he stay when he's not going to be given opportunities? It just makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, let's see what happens in this game. We are just about to kick off here at what I still call it Dean Court, which was the old name of the ground. It's been sponsored by so many different people since. The last time I know it was a Vitality Stadium. I'm not sure if that's still what it is, but I'm going to call it Dean Court because that's what its name should be. Bournemouth will be attacking the goal to our left in the first half. Arsenal in the horrible kit, the horrible luminous yellow kit, which clashes with the grass quite a little bit. And Bournemouth are saying they're red and black stripes. And Bournemouth are off and underway. It was Philip Billing taking that kick, and then Bournemouth go long up this near side. Arsenal's right. Bukayo Saka steps in. It's gone out there for a throw to Arsenal. We're off and underway here on the sunny south coast. Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Unbeaten Arsenal against Bournemouth without a win. When you hear those stats, you know it's one of the games where Bournemouth win, don't they? It's when them two stats come up against each other. But Arsenal should have far too much here. Put your score predictions in actually in the chat, guys, before there's a goal. Let's put your score predictions. I'm gonna go 3-1 to. No, actually we've had 1-0 wins away from home. I think we'll win 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0 today. I was gonna go 3-1, but I'm not sure we'll score 3 away from home because we haven't scored too many goals away, have we? So I'm gonna go 2-0 today. Another clean sheet for David Raya in the Premier League. And Arsenal coming forward over on this near side, which is the right. The ball played up the line into space. Nobody's there. Bournemouth should be able to clear this away, and they do. Long up towards halfway. Dominic Solanke just inside Bournemouth's half, lays it off to Philip Billing. Nice little bit of football is from Bournemouth actually in the early stages. Trying to come forward down this near side. It is Kirkesh there. Looked like he was fouled, but they keep the ball. The referee, by the way, is Michael Salisbury. I'm not too sure what we know about him, other than he'll be just as bad as all the others, probably. Anyway, Bournemouth are still coming forward with Solanke again. Been a bright start from the hosts here, actually. They've been playing some good football this season. They haven't been rewarded with results. But anyway, Terry's ever the optimist has gone 4-1 to Arsenal. Havertz hat-trick. I think we'll take that as sarcasm there. Steve's gone 2-0 as well. Rajendra's in the chat here, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Looking forward to the game tomorrow, I'm sure. Rajendra says they hit the lights for Arsenal to score. Exactly. But Bournemouth on the attack here. And that was a good run there, actually. From Bournemouth. It was Marcus Tavernier, however you want to call it. Good run there from him, but inside the box there, Arsenal just managed to scramble that ball away. It's been a good start from Bournemouth, this. Really, really powerful start in these first 2 minutes. We haven't really had the ball yet. And it's back with the Bournemouth goalkeeper, Neto, the Brazilian. And he just plays it out to this near side. Bournemouth left, a long ball forward again. Ben White wins that header. It finds Bukayo Saka, and he goes back again to Ben White. But Bournemouth really have started this game on the front foot, playing well. 3 minutes gone. Kluivert. Is this Kluivert? Justin Kluivert? He's related, isn't he, to the famous Kluivert who played for Holland, isn't he? He must be, surely. Anyway, he nearly had a chance there. Terry says, remember, no bad language after my last comment. No bad language. Steve says, Havertz got to score this season. Well, I'm sure he'll score this season eventually. It might be like a Williams situation. Remember, he got his only Arsenal goal right at the end of the season, didn't he? It might be one of them situations. When everything's finished and we're out of everything, like that game when Williams scored against West Brom, it might be that situation. He'll score a goal against Nottingham Forest or someone at the end of the season. Anyway, Bukayo Saka is now in possession inside the centre circle, bringing a ball forward for Arsenal, who haven't really settled yet. That's a poor ball back, actually. Gabriel's got to just get after this to keep it in. Not put under too much pressure. Rolls it back to David Raya. All in blue, the Arsenal goalkeeper today. The Spaniard lays it off to Declan Rice, gets it back again, and he just plays a simple ball out to Gabriel over on that far side. Rolls the ball into midfield. Wasn't a good ball, actually, and Bournemouth pick it up, but not for long, as Arsenal now looking to launch a counter-attack with Kai Havertz. He lays it off to Zinchenko. Plays it square up this near side to Ben White. And Arsenal just looking to try and get a little bit of possession of the ball, because so far we haven't had too much of it. Opera says it's like waiting for John Jensen to score. Yeah, that took a while, didn't it? Do you remember that goal though against I think it was Wimbledon, wasn't it, at Highbury when he curled it in the top corner? It was a meaningless goal because we lost that game 3-1, but it was a great goal and a great moment. Anyone who was there will always remember that. I was there when Jensen scored. Brilliant stuff. But yeah, I'm sure Kai Havertz won't take as long as John Jensen did. I think it was like 90 odd games, wasn't it? He played or something until he scored. I can't remember how many it was now. It was quite a few, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm sure that Kai Havertz won't have to wait that many games. You wouldn't imagine he would, but we'll have to see. But yeah, that was a good moment. Anyway, also coming forward now, William Saliba, of course, scored that great goal up the other end. Well, the end we were defending in this half was where he scored that last season, wasn't it? It chips into the top corner from the edge of the box. Fantastic goal that was. Anyway, also coming forward now over on the far side, Gabriel plays it into Eddie Nketiah. He's almost playing on the left-hand side, and it looks like Jesus is through the middle. I thought it was going to be the other way around, those two. But anyway, Eddie Nketiah shouldn't really be in the starting lineup at all, should he? We played 5 minutes anyway here on the South Coast at, I'm still calling it Dean Court. There you go. It is Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0, and not too much has happened as yet. It's been quite a cagey start. Bournemouth have started pretty well. Arsenal are just starting to settle down now, though, starting to find our passes, knocking the ball around a little bit more comfortably, and starting to settle into the game, really. It's just, away from home, sometimes you've got to do that, haven't you? It's not always easy just to straight away, the home team's always going to have the crowd on them, all that kind of stuff, aren't they? It's always tricky away from home. Terry says, let's hope we've managed to sell him or give him away before that. No, he's here for the long term. There's no doubt in my mind that, he's going to be with us certainly for the whole of this season and potentially beyond. It does depend how he does, doesn't it? They realised the Willian situation didn't work and got rid of him at the end of his first season. And maybe the same will happen with Kai Havertz. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's still very, very early in his Arsenal career. I don't like the comparisons that's been made. People say, well, it was the same with Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry. Arsenal coming forward now. Saka finds Ben White, pulls it back. Early chance there for Arsenal. It was Eddie Nketiah inside the box, but Bournemouth defend that pretty well, actually. But Arsenal coming forward again. Zinchenko plays out to the far side. Arsenal looking to get this fast start. Cross comes in from Jesus, I think it was. Cleared away, though, by the Bournemouth defence. Arsenal now starting to settle. We've played 6 minutes. But I say, Bergkamp and Thierry Henry have proven themselves previously, haven't they, at international level and at club level as well. And I don't know, I don't feel that comparison is quite right when Kai Havertz has come here on the back of a couple of poor seasons at Chelsea and just seems to be carrying that form on. Anyway, Arsenal in possession over on that far side. Jesus is playing on that left. Jesus is playing on the left-hand side. It has to be said. Steve says, his Havertz is so bad. Why did Arteta buy? Well, Arteta's bought some terrible players. Why did he buy Willian? Why did he buy that Renarson, the goalkeeper? Why did he buy Cedric Suarez? He's bought some terrible players. So just because Arteta bought him doesn't mean he's a good player, because Arteta's record isn't fantastic, is it? And anyway, Edu buys the players, let's be honest. Anyway, also coming forward again over on that far side, it is Kai Havertz. I mean, I must admit, I've got no issue with Kai Havertz. I want him to do well. And I know he's struggling at the minute and maybe he needs to be left out of the team, but Arteta's sticking by him. And I'm prepared to give him a little bit more time, personally. It's just not working out at the moment, is it? But this is that chance for Arsenal again. Bukayo Saka found Ben White. His cross was looking for Eddie Nketiah on the edge of the 6-yard box, but it wasn't a great ball, actually, to be fair. It was easily defended, well defended, but it wasn't the best cross there from Ben White, unfortunately. And Bournemouth have managed to scramble that one away. But Arsenal now looking a lot more comfortable in this game, following a rather nervy start, you have to say. Terry says, because Arteta wants someone to blame for winning nothing again this season. Well, I'm sure he's not going to blame a player that he bought, is he? He's more likely to blame a player that was already here before he came, because he's never managed to get on with anybody, has he? That he didn't bring in, pretty much. When you look at the team now, how many of these players were here before Arteta? Bukayo Saka is the only one in his starting 11. And he's exceptional. He's the exception to the rule, isn't he? Because of how what a special talent he is, and that's unfortunately where we are. For most of the players on the bench, apart from Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson, they're the only two on the bench that were here before. It's been such a massive clear out in a reasonably short period of time. and very little success has come of that, really, with all the money that we spent. But anyway, this season might be different. Maybe this season is going to be the season where we really win a big trophy. Martin Odegaard now plays the ball through, looking again for Eddie Nketiah, but he was on his heels a little bit there. And Bournemouth have managed to clear that up with Zabranyi, another Ukrainian in the Premier League. I suppose there'll be a few more coming soon, won't there? Seeing as we're their best friends, aren't we? Oh, that was a bad mistake there by Philip Billing, actually. And Bournemouth almost give the ball away, but Billing's got it back again. And I do like Philip Billing. I do think he's a very good player. He looks very elegant on the ball. He's got a little Patrick Vieira vibe about him, hasn't he? Sort of long leg player, gets around the pitch. Obviously, nowhere near in the class of Patrick Vieira, of course, but he just got similarities a little bit for me. Anyway, Bournemouth now coming forward. They've worked hard to win the ball back, and they've done well, actually. And it is Kluivert, the Dutchman, plays it out to that far side to Max Aarons. That's a good ball up this near side to the Hungarian fullback Kirkegge. And Bournemouth now, I say Bournemouth in possession of the ball have looked good, actually, in these opening nearly 10 minutes. They're knocking the ball around pretty confidently, and they've defended reasonably well so far. And it's been quite a cagey start to the game from both teams, actually. Terry says, my only positive for Havertz, he never gets injured. How unlucky are we? Well, I mean, now he's come to Arsenal, he's bound to get injured, because everybody does, don't they? Players that never had an injury in their life sign for Arsenal, and within 3 or 4 months, they're out for 6 months with an injury. So I think that's in the post, the injuries to Kai Havertz. I'm sure he's coming. And that's a long ball by Bournemouth looking up that near side, but it's not a great pass. It's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. And the game was a little bit scrappy, if we're honest. And the cameraman there couldn't keep up with the play either, which is probably this weird kit that Arsenal are wearing. You need sunglasses, really, don't you? Bukayo Saka and Philip Billing. And Philip Billing wins the ball off him. And this is what I like about Philip Billing. He gets around the pitch, he wins tackles, and he's a box-to-box player, isn't he? I really, really like him. Also coming forward now over on the far side with Gabriel Jesus. Plays the ball through to Kai Havertz inside the penalty. Kai Havertz with a shot. Oh, into the side netting. Was that deflected potentially? I think it's a corner to Arsenal. Kai Havertz there, quite close to what would be, of course, his first Arsenal goal, which we were just talking about, wasn't we? How long he might have to wait for one. Well, he almost got one there. Jesus from that left-hand side played the ball infield, a good pass. Kai Havertz got a shot in. It was deflected. I think the goalkeeper at the near post would probably have had that covered. And it's gone into the side net. But it's a corner to Arsenal, the first corner of the game, which was won by Kai Havertz. A shot in there, the corner over on that far side. Declan Rice is going to take it. Looks like he's going to in-swing this with his right foot, which in fact he plays it short instead. This is a routine that Arsenal do a lot, which never really seems to pay off, does it? Zinchenko back to Declan Rice. Arsenal trying to build up low on that near side, but that ball played through isn't going to find Martin Odegaard, and it runs through to the Bournemouth goalkeeper Neto, who's wearing a sort of pinky purpley kind of top kit, really, which is quite nice, isn't it? Anyway, Terry says there, but don't have to get involved in the match to stand a chance of getting injured. Well, no, training he can get injured, can't he? Rajendra says that's a better start from Havertz. Well, I mean, he had a decent shot there, didn't he? It was a good effort. But yeah, we want to see more of that from him, don't we? Especially in the role that he's playing in this team. We just won a header there, actually, to Martin Odegaard, laid off by Eddie Nketiah, and Havertz there trying to twist and turn in the centre of the field, but he was dispossessed. And Bournemouth now coming forward. A chance here for Dominic Solanke inside the box. Dominic Solanke there is a good tackle. It was William Saliba, I think it was, came across. In fact, it's a goal kick. Solanke maybe took a little bit too long there, actually. Looked like he had an opportunity to have a shot there. He took an extra touch. Great tackle by William Saliba. Came across, and it's a goal kick to Arsenal. It did come off the Bournemouth striker, who's in pretty good form this season, actually. He's got a few goals, hasn't he? I think he's got 3 goals this season in a struggling team, which is always a good effort, isn't it? And that was their first real opportunity this game, real big opportunity, wasn't it, for Bournemouth? 12 minutes played. It is still Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. And there's been an effort at each end now. Kai Havertz shot deflected into the side netting, and that effort there from Dominic Solanke. Well, it wasn't. He didn't manage to get the shot away because Saliba came across, but it was an opportunity, wasn't it? If he'd maybe took it first time, he took that extra touch, and then that was all William Saliba needed, wasn't it, to close him down and slide in and pinch the ball, and in fact kick it off the Bournemouth striker. And Arsenal trying to play it out from the back over on that far side. Gabriel almost getting in a bit of a mess there. And in fact, he's got himself in a bit of a mess, but he has one. In fact, he's conceded. Is that a free kick? He was put under pressure there by Tavernier there. Marcus Tavernier is complaining to the assistant referee over on that far side, Gabriel. It looks like it's a free kick to Bournemouth, almost a corner, because it's right. It's just outside that little corner quadrant there. What did he do wrong there, really? Is it for diving? Oh, no, it's handball. Oh, it's handball, I see, because he felt he was pushed in the back and he handled the ball, Gabriel. So it's a free kick, which is basically a corner over on that far side, which Marcus Tavernier is going to take. Bournemouth are quite dangerous from set pieces, aren't they? So this could be a big moment for them. They obviously are desperate for some points, aren't they? Terry says, I can't get my head around people praising Havertz for doing that. We're not doing nothing. I mean, he made a good run into the box and had a shot. Standard stuff, though, isn't it, for a Premier League player, to be honest? Anyway, it's a corner to ball a throw. It's a free kick, but it's in basically a corner over on that far side. Tavernier drills it in low to the near post. Arsenal deal with that fairly comfortably, actually. But Bournemouth do pick up that second ball, and they're trying to get an attack going. It's Max Aarons in possession for Bournemouth. Plays it back, a long way back, actually, to the goalkeeper, Neto. The Bournemouth captain, the Brazilian, goes long. It's a long ball forward there, but a comfortable. A mistake from Ben White, actually. Bournemouth are in behind, are they? The cross comes in, does it? He keeps the ball in. There's a chance for Bournemouth, but it's deflected behind. In fact, it was offside anyway. Arsenal there looked like we'd gone asleep a little bit, actually. Almost conceded a goal on the back of it, but anyway, it was offside. We've played 14 and a half minutes here. It is a Vitality Stadium, isn't it? Because I just seen Vitality on the back of the seats here for the manager's seat, so it is. The ball played in there to Martin Ødegaard. Put a little bit of pressure there from who is that putting him under pressure? Cliver, actually. But Martin Ødegaard can deal with a little bit of pressure, can't he? And he plays the ball back to William Saliba. That's with Ben White on this near side, striding forward. And he just passes it square in field. This is Arsenal attack building now. It's in the midfield, Declan Rice. Now it's back with Ben White on this near side. Ben White plays it into Martin Ødegaard, looking for Bukayo Saka on this near side. He's found Saka. Saka cuts back inside. He's got runners outside him, but keeps possession. Bukayo Saka plays a square ball. It's a decent ball, actually, to Martin Ødegaard. Plays it out to Zinchenko. Now it's right over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus also kept the ball well here. Gets it back from Kai Havertz. Jesus plays it into the penalty area to Martin Ødegaard. Martin Ødegaard manages to keep possession, but no, he doesn't actually. He's lost possession now. And Bournemouth can come forward themselves over on the far side on the counter-attack. Is this going to be a goal for Bournemouth? Oh, that's a poor ball from them, actually. Ben White should cut this out and plays it back to the goalkeeper, David Raya, who, whatever anybody thinks, is our number one, and he's going to remain our number one for the foreseeable future, you imagine. Anyway, Declan Rice now. Arsenal just keeping comfortable possession, and we've slowed the pace of the game down a little bit there. We had a good move before, a lot of passes, got the ball to the edge of the penalty area, but we just lacked that final cutting edge, didn't we, on that particular attack. Anyway, David Raya now plays it out to the far side. Gabriel is almost in a left-back position. And Gabriel Jesus says fouled on halfway, just in front of the dugout there. It was Max Aarons who fouled him. Arsenal taking that quickly. Eddie Nketiah does well in the middle of the pitch, having a run at this Bournemouth defence. Finds Bukayo Saka on this near side. Saka pulls the ball back to Martin Ødegaard across towards the far post. Jesus is there, heads it across the goal. It's hit the post. Saka's there, heads it in. Arsenal have scored. Bukayo Saka again. He's on a great run, isn't he? Star boy with the goal. It was Jesus' header, hit the post. Bukayo Saka there pointing at his head. He doesn't score many headers, does he, Bukayo Saka? But he's got a header there. And Arsenal lead just 16 minutes played. And it was Bukayo Saka there with the goal. A simple finish in the end, but you've got to be there to finish him off. And he was nodded it in to that empty net there. And it is, of course, as we like to say, 1-0 1-0 to the Arsenal. Jesus header across and hit the near post, came back out to Bukayo Saka. A little bit fortunate maybe in the way that fell to him, you have to say. Jesus was trying to head it back across the goal. It hit the post, deceived the goalkeeper, and Saka was on hand to head into the empty net. So Arsenal got the perfect start. 16 minutes played it was. Actually, I don't know if Jesus actually maybe he was going for goal then. Anyway, it's hit the post from a very difficult angle, and it took the goalie out of the game, and Saka was on hand to head it in. Lovely stuff. And Arsenal lead 1-0, which is good. Steve says, good start. It is a good start. That's nice, isn't it? Rajendra says, another 5 likes for another goal. Yeah, of course, the more likes, the more goals we score. That's the way it works. And we've got a goal already just 17 minutes into this game. A very well taken goal there from Saka. He was just in the right place to put it in, wasn't he? And, you know, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure actually what the whether or not Jesus was going for goal or whether he wasn't. But anyway, it doesn't matter too much because Arsenal have got the goal. But Bournemouth now coming forward, looking to respond to going behind. But so far this season in the Premier League, and in fact in the Carabao Cup, 3 away games, 3 1-0 victories for Arsenal. So maybe we should just switch off now. It's going to finish 1-0, isn't it? Anyway, Bournemouth are offside again over on that far side. Max Aarons it was. But it's Arsenal with the lead, and not often do we throw away leads, do we? Especially away from home. We tend to keep a lot more clean sheets over the last 2 years. We've done it away from home, haven't we? And at the Emirates, we can't seem to keep a clean sheet to save our life, can we? So you almost feel a lot more confident, don't you, away from home when we score. You feel as though we're almost definitely going to win because of that great defensive record that we've got. So, yeah, let's hope that's a good sign. But Bournemouth trying to come forward now, looking for this equaliser, the ball up this near side. It was well taken there, actually, by Cliver, but he couldn't get past Bukayo Saka, the goal scorer. In fact, Saka's committed a foul, and it's going to be a free kick to Bournemouth, midway inside the Arsenal half. Cliver there. Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, Saka just kicked him there, didn't he? Quite an obvious foul. Anyway, it's a free kick now. Lewis Cook is over this for Bournemouth. It's just like to this left-hand side. So it's about midway inside the Arsenal half here. So it's an opportunity for Bournemouth to get the ball in the box and maybe cause us 1 or 2 difficult moments. So we'll have to see. It looks like it might be Marcus Tavernier actually with a free kick. It's a decent ball towards the far post, but it's overhit a little bit actually. And Ben White keeps it in, prevents the corner, but it has gone out for a throw instead to Arsenal. Ben White coming across there into the Bournemouth, coming across the left back position and then kicks the ball into the Bournemouth fans over on that far side. And then Bournemouth have won a corner, have they? They have indeed. Gabriel there. Good feet actually there by Marcus Tavernier. And he's won a corner for Bournemouth. The hosts looking to try and get back level in this game. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 1. They're bringing the defenders up for this set piece. Terry says, surprise Saka didn't get sent off for that. Well, we've seen Arsenal players get sent off for very little before. So, yeah, I suppose it is a bit of a surprise. When his corner comes into the near post, headed out well. Wasn't a great corner, actually. Doesn't beat the first man. That's always a bad corner, isn't it, if it doesn't beat the first man. Bournemouth coming forward again, though. Ball flicked into the penalty area there, but Arsenal managed to defend it. And now we've got a chance of a counter-attack with Eddie Nketiah over on that far side. I still can't stand this kit, I have to say. Declan Rice now plays it to Ben White. Nice touch. Nice take on his thigh. And then Saka plays it all the way back to William Saliba. Arsenal looking in control of this game, you have to say. Alfo says they're Luton winning at Everton, are they? Well, I'm pretty sure Everton will come back and win that game because Luton are dreadful, aren't they? But anyway, we'll see. They've not won yet either, have they? Favourites to go down, of course, them and Sheffield United. I think Burnley might be all right, you know. I think Burnley have got, I don't know, I think Burnley out of those 3 are the most likely to survive. I think the other 2 are almost certain to go down, aren't they? Even at this early stage, I think it's fair to say they're not very good, either of them, are they? So I think they're both going down. Arsenal looking for a second goal now. Martin Odegaard on the turn. Plays the ball over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus, he got the assist for the first goal. Plays it back across the 6-yard box. Well defended there, actually, by Zabranyi, the Ukrainian. And Jesus looks a little bit frustrated there, looking to get his second assist already. There was a good play from Arsenal again, and the cross there was just deflected wide as Martin Odegaard was looking to get on the end of it. And the two Brazilians there, the two Gabriels, Jesus and Gabriel, are just in conversation. It's going to be Declan Rice with this corner from the far side. He played it short last time. Martin Odegaard's there to play it short to again. He said it comes to the edge of the box to Zinchenko, goes around the outside, tries a shot. Good save from Neto. Nearly 2-0 that to Arsenal. Neto pushes the ball out, and Bournemouth now can actually come forward themselves over on that far side. Ball played up the line, but Saka's there to play it back to the goalkeeper. That was a good effort, that from Zinchenko. Good shot that was. Power in that. But it was quite close to the goalkeeper, pushed it out. Good save, you have to say. It's a decent save from the Bournemouth goalkeeper, the Bournemouth captain, the Brazilian Neto. And it stays at 1-0, but Arsenal looking to, we haven't managed, have we, in our away games? We haven't managed to get that second goal, have we? The crucial second goal. And we came close to it then. Of course, the longer the game stays at 1-0, the longer Bournemouth will feel that they can get something back from the game. They're showing that replay, that shot again there. Zinchenko's effort on target. Oh, it's a good save, actually. It's a little bit, he had to move away to his right-hand side, the goalkeeper. And it was a decent save, actually. Well done to him. But a good strike that from Zinchenko. It was going in the top corner. It would have been good, wouldn't it? Steve says, Palace go 1-0 up. And Off-Road says, yes, man, you're losing. Well, they are losing, yeah, but it's something that we're quite used to now, aren't we? Because they lose quite a lot. Anyway, the goalkeeper for Bournemouth, Neto, has gone down with an injury now following that save. Not quite sure what's happened there. Some sort of ankle injury, is it? And the manager, Androni Irola, is just getting the players in, explaining a few tactical tweaks. I mean, Bournemouth have played quite well, actually. You've got to say they've played pretty well in these opening 26 minutes. But the Arsenal quality going forward has been the difference, hasn't it? And that's why Arsenal are in front, and Arsenal are crowded around Mikel Arteta, getting some tactical information on board. And yeah, they're just showing the goal again. Jesus' header hit the post, and then Saka was there to. It kind of didn't want to bounce up for him, did it? He had to readjust himself, but it was good play from Bukayo Saka, and Arsenal get the early lead. But to be fair, Bournemouth have responded quite well in a positive frame, haven't they? They've not really had any chances to equalise, but they've not let their heads drop, despite the fact they're really struggling this season. And Neto's back up on his feet again anyway, which is the main thing, isn't it? Let's have a look at. So there's been a few interesting scores we're looking at in the Premier League, aren't we? So let's see what's actually going on. Well, Aston Villa beat Brighton 6-1 earlier. Wow, I didn't know that. Ollie Watkins got a hat-trick. Yeah, Luton are winning 1-0. It's Lockyer with the goal there. Crystal Palace are winning 1-0 at Manchester United with Anderson, the defender, Joachim Anderson. Newcastle are beating Burnley 1-0. Almiron with that goal. I wonder if they're going to score 8 again this week. West Ham are beating Sheffield United 1-0. It's Jared Bowen. And Wolves are beating Man City 1-0 with an own goal from Ruben Diaz. But they were 1-0 down last week and came back and won. So I'm not expecting anything other than that today. Anyway, Bournemouth coming forward now over on the far side. Ryan Christie, the Scot. And Bournemouth have responded well to that goal, actually. And they're coming forward again with Philip Billing. He lays the ball back, and Bournemouth just keeping possession. Lewis Cook inside the centre circle. Rajendra says they're a small break to talk to the coach. That's the one thing that happens all the time. You never used to see that, did you? You used to see the odd player maybe come over and get a drink when there was a break in play. Now the whole team come over in a huddle. It's not just Arsenal. It tends to be in general. It seems to have come from when we were playing in that COVID season in the summer when it was hot and they was having water breaks. They used to have a break and some tactical kind of almost a tactical timeout. I suppose you could have called it really to some degree. And it seems to have carried on since then, doesn't it? Now, whenever there's a break in play, that's what teams do. They go over to the manager and get some tactical information in. Anyway, Bournemouth now in possession on this near side with Senenzi. Plays a good ball forward, actually, and Bournemouth looking to come. That's a poor touch, though. And Bukayo Saka does well on this near side. The goal scorer for Arsenal, Bukayo Saka. Rumours that he was injured, but he was never injured, was he? He's not missed a league game for over 2 years. and he's not likely to miss one yet, is he? Ben White now, though, for Arsenal, plays it infield to Declan Rice. He was always going to be fit as well, wasn't he, Declan Rice? Let's be honest. There was never really much doubt about that. Zinchenko now lays the ball off to Gabriel over on that far side. Gabriel plays it back to the goalkeeper, David. Raya goes long, looking for Eddie Nketiah, wins the header, heads it down, looking for Kai Havertz, and it's actually a foul by Kai Havertz there on Philip Billing, and it is going to be a free kick. In fact, Saka, saying he wasn't injured, is struggling to get back to his feet again, actually. Rajendra says a goalkeeper has a problem for the tactical break. Yeah, the goalkeeper was injured, that's right, yeah. Anyway, Saka looks as though he's got a little bit of an injury now following that run there up the side. And then he was caught there actually a little bit late by the defender there. In fact, it wasn't a defender, it was Justin Kluivert who caught him a little bit late. And Saka's still not really moving that freely, actually. Anyway, Bournemouth are coming forward over on that far side. Arsenal do win the ball back with Zinchenko, but it only falls to Bournemouth again. And they're in possession. I think Bournemouth have played well in this opening half now. That's a long ball over the top. They just lack a thrust going forward, don't they? When they get to that final third, they don't really have a lot of ideas. Rajendra says, hit the likes, not quite 5 more likes. Well, no, they won't be. It's 1-0. So until the likes get in, we're not going to get any more goals, are we? Rajendra says, Saka is struggling. He is struggling, yeah. Since that little knock he had. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. Bearing in mind, he may well have come into this game with a slight knock, if we believe the rumours that has been going around. But anyway, let's see. Off-road says they're Luton. 2-0, are they? Well, I still think Everton will come back and win that 3-2 because Luton just aren't very good. But who knows? Everton aren't that good either, are they? Let's be honest. And they've already better in the score that we had against Everton away the other week when we only managed to get that 1 goal, didn't we? And we struggled to even get that for much of that game. But anyway, excitement elsewhere. Not too much excitement here, but Arsenal are winning, and that's all that really matters, I guess. It is 2-0 to Luton. Well, who scored that goal for Luton? The second one, it hasn't come in yet. BBC website's very slow, isn't it? Updating, but there's no other further goals anywhere else. I can't believe Villa beat Brighton 6-1. That's amazing, isn't it? Good old Unai Emery, eh? What a job he's doing. Terry says Everton are in big trouble this season. Well, they are. They've been in big trouble for the last 2 or 3 seasons, but they've managed to survive every year, and there's no reason to suggest they won't again. Because luckily for them, there's a lot worse teams than them in the league, isn't there? And one of them may well be here today. Bournemouth, who haven't got a win yet. And although we're still only half an hour into this game, it does seem quite unlikely that they're going to get a win in this game either, because Arsenal don't look like conceding at the moment, and Bournemouth don't look like scoring, and Arsenal are pretty much in control. But Philip Billing will try and change that, striding forward from midfield. But a good tackle there. Kai Havertz done well. In fact, the referee didn't like that tackle. He's given a free kick, and Kai Havertz is probably going to get booked sooner or later because that's 2 or 3 fouls he's given away. Even though they're not bad fouls, it's an accumulation sometimes, isn't it, of different fouls. Philip Billing's gone down injured, and I'm sure that's not going to influence the referee. Oh, in fact, it has influenced the referee's decision, and he has booked Kai Havertz. It seemed as though he's booked him on the back of the fact that Philip Billing's got a bit of an injury. Oh, actually, he did lunge a bit there, didn't he? It was a bit of a lunging tackle. So probably, actually looking at the replay, it is definitely a yellow card. He lunged, but he didn't really have a chance of winning the ball. He can't really have too many complaints about that, can he, Kai Havertz? And he's got himself a yellow card. Shaking his head there, the German. Not quite happening for him, is it, in an Arsenal shirt? And it's not quite happening for him today. And now he's got a yellow card, so he's going to have to be careful, isn't he? Because I think a red card would finish him off, wouldn't it, if he got suspended? Anyway, Bournemouth in possession again over on that far side. I say that they've played well in this first half, Bournemouth, but they lack a cutting edge. And I would say at this moment in time, I feel reasonably comfortable with the way Arsenal are in this game, winning 1-0, and don't look to be having too many problems. But still a long way to go. Only 33.5 minutes played. Arsenal picks up possession, though. Gabriel, his clearance says charged down by Marcus Tavernier. He's had a good first half, actually, but he's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. We've played nearly 34 minutes here on the South Coast, and it's been a fairly routine Arsenal performance so far, pretty much as expected. We've got the goal, and we don't look like conceding, if we're totally honest. But anyway, obviously lots can happen in this game still. And Bournemouth are certainly giving it everything. They're working hard. They're trying to close us down. And in possession, they've been pretty good as well. So, let's... Havertz has been fouled by Philip Billing. Was there a little bit of revenge in that foul there from Billing? Having Havertz just got booked for a foul on him not too long ago. Is that a little bit of revenge there? The ref will have to keep an eye on that. But I think Havertz has maybe got booked because he did 2 or 3 fouls. But Billing there, he did try and get the ball. I don't think maybe it wasn't perhaps revenge, but anyway. Terry says, good tackle, Phillips. Oh, dear. Anyway. It was a foul, and Arsenal got a free kick taken quickly. Declan Rice plays out his near side to goal scorer Bukayo Saka. He just touches it off to Ben White. Goes back to William Saliba. Arsenal quite happy just to keep the ball. It's not too exciting to watch, is it? It's quite dull in actual fact. And this is a problem when Arsenal get a lead against a team that we're expected to win. Sometimes it can lead to games like this. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now. A little bit more urgency going forward. Gabriel Jesus over on that far side switches the play to this near side to Bukayo Saka. Just touches it off nicely there for Ben White. Can Arsenal find a second goal before half-time? Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka linking up again. Eddie Nketiah lays it off to Zinchenko. Eddie Nketiah in the box. Is this going to be 2-0? Eddie Nketiah there took too long to shoot. And in the end, Bournemouth get it away. And that there was encapsulated the problem with Eddie Nketiah. He did some nice things in the build-up to that there. Nice feet inside the box. He needed to shoot then. It came onto his left foot. He needed to shoot. He shoot there, and he took it too far. And then by the time he could get a shot away, he was crowded out, and Bournemouth got the ball away. But he had an opportunity to shoot just a fraction before. It just opened up for him there, and he took that extra touch where he didn't need to. And that's what he sometimes does too often for me. A clinical striker there as a shot. We shouldn't compare Eddie Nketiah to Erling Haaland, of course not. But Erling Haaland shoots there, then he gets the ball in the box and just shoots. And that's what you've got to do. If you shoot enough times, you're going to score a goal. And he didn't take the shot on. And now actually Bournemouth coming forward themselves looking for the equaliser, but Arsenal managed to get that ball away. But yeah, a clinical striker there that puts that shot away. I'm not saying it goes in. The goalie could save it. It might go wide. But you've got to get your shot away there. And a clinical striker gets that shot away. And Eddie Nketiah didn't do that once again. And I say to me, that's the reason why he's not good enough. Anyway, Bournemouth still coming forward over on that far side, looking to get this equaliser. Dominic Solanke's done really well, actually, just inside the Arsenal penalty area. Plays the ball square, shot comes in. Well defended, actually, there from Declan Rice, just sitting in front of that defence. And now Arsenal have won a free kick over on that far side. It was Max Aarons there with the foul. But that was good play from Bournemouth, actually. Dominic Solanke at the heart of it. And then he played the ball back. I'm not sure it was who had that shot actually on the edge of the box for Bournemouth, but it was great defending from Declan Rice. And Arsenal got the ball away, and now so we've got a free kick, which we've taken. Declan Rice now plays the ball through the lines, looking for Eddie Nketiah, who's dropped deep. Plays it back. It's going all the way back to David Raya, actually, from Eddie Nketiah there. Now David Raya goes long up this near side, looking for Saka again. But good defending there, actually, from Kirkej. Those two have had a little bit of a battle, haven't they? And in fact, it's a free kick to Bournemouth. Saka is pleading his innocence there, and probably rightly so. It looked a bit of a soft free kick there, didn't it, really? But anyway, it's a free kick to Bournemouth on this near side, just inside their half. I'm not quite sure what Saka's done wrong there. Anyway, it's a free kick to Bournemouth. There you go. Which Lewis Cook is going to take. It's about 15 yards inside from this near touchline. And Bournemouth have got a chance to get that ball into the box and cause Arsenal a few more problems. They've taken it short, actually. And it's Marcus Tavernier now lays it back off to Lewis Cook. Now he's going to get a better angle, chips it into the Arsenal penalty, headed away by Gabriel. Not particularly far there. Bournemouth keep possession over on that far side. Opportunity to get a cross in, maybe. It's an overlap there from Max Aarons inside the box. Pulls it back or tries to pull it back. Good defending, actually, at the near post. That might well have been Kai Havertz, actually, with that bit of defending at the near post. And Bournemouth there, it was Senesi there getting forward. Max Aarons and Jesus has gone down again. He's gone down quite a few times in this first half. Every time someone goes near him, he falls down, doesn't he? Anyway, into the last 6 minutes of this first half, Legendre says pushing is allowed. Well, it seems to be. I thought that was a foul on Bukayo Saka there. You're right. Anyway, the referee is now talking to Sensei, the Bournemouth defender, Marcus Sensei, the Argentinian. Not quite sure what the complaint was there. I mean, it was a foul there. An Argentinian fouling a Brazilian. That's not unusual, is it? As Tom Jones would say. It is a free kick, though, to Arsenal. Jesus does go down rather easily, though, doesn't he? And makes a meal of every single challenge that's on him. They're just showing there the attempts on goal. Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 5, and 2 on target for Arsenal. One of which was the goal, and the other one was, of course, that shot from Zinchenko, wasn't it? Which brought a good save out of Neto. So, other than that, there's not really been too many chances at either end, has there? Bournemouth lacking any cutting edge at all. And you do feel at this stage, a mistake there from Ben White. And Solanke, who maybe has got a goal in him for Bournemouth, plays the ball square into the box, dinked in there by Ryan Christie, twisting and turning inside the box. Good play there from the Scot, keeps possession well, actually. The ball comes out on this near side to Kirkes again. The Hungarian lays the ball off to Senesi. That's a decent cross, but David Raya is there. And a good catch there. Terry says there wasn't a Sensi in the Karate Kid. I think he was, yeah. He's looking good for it now, isn't he? Because the Karate Kid was probably out 30 years ago. And here he is playing in the Premier League. And he's doing okay, isn't he? So he's looking good for his age, you have to say. Anyway, the camera's panned on to Aaron Ramsdale as David Ray. Every time David Ray is going to do anything, the camera's always going to go on to Aaron Ramsdale, isn't it? Ridiculous. Anyway, Arsenal in possession now. Declan Rice just in front of his own penalty, plays it back to David Raya again. Just controls the ball into the last 4 minutes of this first half. It's been fairly comfortable for Arsenal. Bournemouth have had some moments without really threatening to score. And Arsenal now are on the far side, playing their way out of trouble there. Gabriel, good ball up the line, actually. It's found Eddie Nketiah, touch back to Gabriel Jesus. He's gone out for a throw. Is it to Arsenal? No, referee's given the throw to Bournemouth, actually. Jesus thought it was ours. Arteta thought it was ours, but the referee disagrees. And it is a throw to Bournemouth over on that far side in front of the dugouts. Max Aarons with it. Bournemouth coming forward over on that far side. Philip Billing with the run. He maybe did too much there, and Zinchenko's taken the ball off him coming forward. Now he's played it up the line. That's a decent ball, actually, to Eddie Nketiah. Plays the ball square, gets it back again. Eddie Nketiah, does he? And there's a tackle there on Eddie Nketiah, and the referee's given a penalty to Arsenal. Oh, that's a soft one. I want to see the VAR on that. Eddie Nketiah there went round, tried to go past Max Aaron. It looks like Max Aaron has just slid in and won the ball. Eddie's gone down. The referee's going to put. Let's have a look at this again. Oh, actually, no, I don't think he did get the ball. It is a penalty to Arsenal. Eddie there just got the wrong side there. Did he get the ball? I don't know. That's a tricky one, actually. I wouldn't like to be VAR on that decision, if I'm honest. Not really too sure about that. Anyway, it's been given as a penalty. VAR must have agreed with the referee's decision. I don't think he's going to go to the screen. It doesn't look like he's going to the screen to check it. It is a penalty to Arsenal just before half-time. This is a big moment, isn't it? Because we haven't managed to get the second goal in some of our previous games, have we? When we've been 1-0 up. So this is an opportunity. It's going to be Martin Ødegaard, actually, not Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka scored a penalty, didn't he? Was it last week, wasn't it? It was, yeah. He scored a penalty last week, but Martin Ødegaard's going to take this one. He did score, of course, from the spot against Crystal Palace in one of our recent away games, and he's going to have an opportunity now to make it 2-0, faced by Brazilian Neto. A bit of a soft penalty, that, to be honest, but it looked as though, yeah, it's a difficult one to give. Anyway, Martin Ødegaard now against Neto. Martin Ødegaard from the penalty spot sends a keeper the wrong way. And it is Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. Surely that seals the victory before half-time. Bournemouth have really looked like scoring one goal, let alone two in this game. Surely that is that. We are getting the 3 points. Steve says beauty. I hope Havertz scores sooner or later. Well, we all hope he does. General says the defender took Eddie down. It was a tight one, wasn't it? Terry says a bit soft, in my opinion, but come on, yeah, well, it was a bit soft, yeah. And it was nicely taken there by Martin Odegaard, slotted into the bottom right-hand corner of Neto's net. And that's his second penalty, isn't it? And it's 2-0 to Arsenal just before half-time. I mean, I'd like to see that again. I would like to have been on VAR for that, because did he touch the ball first or not? He slid in. He obviously thought he was going to get the ball, and Eddie maybe just got... I mean, he didn't really touch the ball ahead of him. It just looks like he hasn't maybe got enough on the ball, the defender. But I say I've always looked on those penalty decisions as how would I feel if that was given against us? If that penalty had been given against us, I'd be raging. Actually, it was very, very soft, but it's one of them ones we say you've seen it given. Well, we've just seen it given. It was given, and Arsenal have scored. We'll take it, and it is 2-0 now. Dominic Solanke now on his near side. Bournemouth trying to find a way back. Have they got a corner in the final moments of the first half? They have. Philip Billing, and it was his mistake actually that led to that counter attack actually. Before that, Virginia says the Bournemouth player are getting stroppy. Well, they're losing, aren't they? Of course they are. And it's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, actually. I'm not quite sure where that's come from, because it didn't appear to be too many stoppages, really, in that first half. It seemed to have flowed quite nicely. But anyway, it's a corner to Bournemouth, which Lewis Cook is going to take on this near side. I think Bournemouth would like a goal back before half-time, wouldn't they? But that's a poor corner, actually, headed out. Not that well, actually, in the end by Jesus, I think it was. And Bournemouth now coming forward again. That's nice play. Oh, that's really nice play. Over on that far side, Philip Billing in the box. Oh, good block from Gabriel. That's probably, in fact, it was, yeah, Philip Billing it was there. Gabriel with the block. And again, that kind of sums up Bournemouth's issues, doesn't it? It was good play by Philip Billing. Looked like he was going to go around the outside, and the shot then was well blocked. David Ray potentially had it covered anyway. Terry says great tackle. It was more of a block than a tackle, wasn't it? But it was great anyway. You're right, and it's prevented a goal. Corner comes in. Oh, it was a free header there from Dominic Solanke, but he's put it wide. And we played a minute of the 5 of stoppage time. Arsenal in complete control here on the south coast. It was 2-0 at half time last season, wasn't it? And it's 2-0 at half time. Well, it looked like it's going to be 2-0 at half time. There is still obviously some time left in this first half of stoppage time. We'll just quickly run through the other scores then. Everton have pulled a goal back against Luton. It is Calvert-Lewin. I did say Everton are going to win that 3-2. I'm sticking with that. Newcastle are still beating Burnley by 1-0. Surprised they haven't scored a few more. West Ham are 2-0 up now against Sheffield United. Souček with a second goal. And Wolves are still beating Man City 1-0, but obviously lots of time for that to change. I'm sure they were 1-0 down at half-time last week. And Arsenal coming forward again. Eddie Nketiah's got Saka on this near side. The first goal scorer for Arsenal. Plays it into the box. Martin Odegaard, who scored that penalty just a few moments ago, could have crossed it, didn't. Bukayo Saka probably will. Does to the edge of the box to Declan Rice. Plays it out to Zinchenko. Arsenal looking for this third goal. Kai Havertz plays it back to Zinchenko again. And Declan Rice and Arsenal falls backwards briefly, but now we're coming forward again with Gabriel Jesus. Plays it in field to Zinchenko. Goes around the outside. Can he get across it? It's quite a tight angle now. In fact, he can't. He's run the ball out of play. It's going to be a goal kick to Bournemouth. And we're into the last couple of minutes here of this first half. We're approaching half time. And it's been a good first half from Arsenal, hasn't it? So totally in control of this game and heading towards another 3 points, you feel. It's going to take something quite spectacular from Bournemouth to come back from this when they've barely threatened 1 goal, let alone 2 that they would need as a minimum to get something from this game and deny Arsenal another victory. But we've seen stranger things happen in football, haven't we? But I can't see it today. I do feel that this game is pretty much done and dusted for Arsenal now. We just need to manage it better, well, in the second half, don't we? We're into the last minute and a half of this first half of stoppage time. It is still Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. Bournemouth, they're looking to try and come forward up this near side. Did that ball go out? Referee says no, it didn't. He kept it in there at Kirkegge, but it only came to William Saliba, and that's with Declan Rice. Plays it forward to Martin Odegaard. Couldn't get under control, actually. It was fizzed at him. And in the end, Bournemouth now bringing it forward with Lewis Cook. Plays that ball forward there, but easily cut out by Zinchenko. But Arsenal actually give it away. It was Kai Havertz. And now Bournemouth trying to find an attack just to end this first half. Ryan Christie is over on that far side trying to get a cross in. Can't manage to do so. Plays the ball back to Marcus Tavernier. But now Arsenal run it back again with Kai Havertz. Eddie Nketiah there was dispossessed a little bit too easily, you have to say. And then Bournemouth now looking to try to find a goal back. It's a decent ball up this near side. It's Tavernier's looked good in this first half. The ball falls into the box. Shot comes in. Oh, great save from David Raya there at full stretch. That could prove to be a big moment in this game. That shot came in. I think it was Ryan Christie with the effort from just inside the penalty area. Good work from Tavernier there. The ball fell kindly there to Christie. Is it a first-time shot across David Raya? That was going in that far corner. And then Raya's got down quickly. The deflection maybe took a little bit of the sting out of it, but it's still a very good save. The Bournemouth manager looks to the heavens as if to say that sums up their luck, really. But they haven't threatened enough, have they? In fact, there goes a half-time whistle. That was the last action of that first half and could prove to be an important moment as well, because a goal back for Bournemouth there could have made it a very different second half. But as it is, it's half-time here at the Vitality Stadium. It is Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. Bukayo Saka with the opening goal, 17 minutes on the clock it was. It was a cross from Martin Odegaard, a header from Gabriel Jesus. Came back off the post and Saka was there to head into the empty net. And then just before half-time, Eddie Nketiah tried to go round Max Aarons. He was just clipped. The referee pointed to the penalty spot, and it was Martin Odegaard who scored it, not Bukayo Saka this week. Martin Odegaard slotted it away, sent the keeper the wrong way. Bournemouth have had their moments. They've played quite well, but they lack a cutting edge. And at half-time, Arsenal are totally in control of this game. It is Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. We will be looking forward to the second half. Steve says there, Terry, now it's half-time. A look at 2023. AFC Grand Final. See my game on YouTube highlights today. Yeah, we'll have a look at that later. Terry says, not a bad half considering we've started with 9.5 players. Vijandra says, time for some changes in players. Well, I don't know. We're fairly comfortable, aren't we? I can't see Mikel Arteta making too many changes when we're so much in control of the game. Let's just give you the other half-time scores. Then what we're looking at in these games today then. In the Premier League, there's quite a few games there, isn't there? There's not too many tomorrow because, of course, the WSL starts tomorrow, and we'll be here, of course, for coverage of the Arsenal women's opening game at the Emirates against Liverpool, which is going to be a very good game, isn't it? Let's be honest. We're looking forward to that. That starts at 2 o'clock, so I'll be here at 1:45 to bring you all the coverage of that game. So let's get the scores for it. And half-time scores in the Premier League. Well, full-time, Aston Villa 6, Brighton 1. Incredible. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2, as we've seen. Everton 1, Luton 2 at half-time. 2-goal lead for Everton, Lockyer and Morris, and then Calvert-Lewin pulled one back. Half-time at Old Trafford, Man United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Joe Cheam Anderson with a goal there, 25 minutes. Newcastle 1, Burnley 0, Miggy Almiron with their goal there after 14 minutes. West Ham 2, Sheffield United 0 at half-time. Bowen and Souček with their goals. And it is half-time at Molineux, Wolves 1, Man City 0, an own goal from Ruben Diaz. And of course, the 5:30 game tonight is a big one, isn't it? Tottenham against Liverpool, 2 unbeaten teams. Should be a great game, that, and hopefully a draw. So there you go. There's a half-time scores. There's some a couple of shock results maybe on the cards. Palace winning at Old Trafford and Wolves beating Man City. But we're doing our job. We're winning our game. And that's all we can do, isn't it? That's all we can control. We just need to keep playing as we did in that first half, manage this game well. And then I'm sure we will get another 3 points on the board. So it's half-time then. I say a decent first half from Arsenal, and we're 2-0 up. I am going to go and grab myself a cup of tea at half-time and be back very, very shortly for the second half. So stay with us because we'll be back soon. And half-time, Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. Join us very soon for that second half. So welcome back for the second half. Got me a cup of tea, lovely, and it is of course Arsenal in what looks to be pretty much complete control of this game, don't we? Let's be honest. Bournemouth have really threatened a goal, and yeah, I think it's going to be a massive shock now if Arsenal don't end with another 3 points this afternoon from this game. Another win away at Bournemouth, which of course is somewhere that we've won at quite a few times, haven't we, over the years? Anyway, so let me just should we have a look at some match before the second half starts? Should we have a look at the stats, shall we, from that first half? Let's have a look, shall we? Right, so Arsenal 62% possession, Bournemouth 38. Arsenal with 6 shots, 3 on target, and 2 goals. And Arsenal have had 2 corners. Bournemouth then had 5 shots, only 1 on target, which was that save, of course, at the end. And they've had 3 corners over Bournemouth, so they've had more corners. But Arsenal have been pretty much in control, let's be honest. Not too many problems there. And looking good, isn't it, for another 3 points? We've had some comments coming over at half time there. Offroad said the stream's gone off. Oh, what, my stream's gone off, is it? Oh, okay. Must have been when I was making me cup of tea. I do apologise. Jonas says another 5 likes for free. I don't know how many likes we've got, but we basically need to get at least 15 likes, don't we? 15 to 20 is the minimum really that we need. So please give us a like if you haven't done so already. And of course, bear in mind we are back tomorrow, the start of the WSL season. We've been looking forward to this for a while. Arsenal women at the Emirates against Liverpool. That game starts at 2 o'clock. So I'll be about 1:45, and we'll be doing all the usual stuff, the build-up, team news, and then we'll go into the game, the full-match commentary from the Emirates, Arsenal against Liverpool. It's going to be good, isn't it? So join us for that one. Can the Arsenal women start the season with 3 big points and push on? It's going to be a big season, isn't it, for the Arsenal women, the players that we've bought, and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be good. So join me for that one tomorrow. Even if you don't like women's football particularly, you don't need to watch the game. Come and join the show, and it's just like one of these shows. If you like this, you'll like the women's coverage as well, because it's the same, and Arsenal are expected to win that as well. The teams aren't back out yet, actually. So we've got the substitutes warming up on the pitch in the sunshine. I think it's a little bit chilly down there. I don't know if it is, actually. There's a few T-shirts in the crowd. But anyway, the players are back in the tunnel again. Doesn't look like there's any changes for Arsenal. Looks as though it's the same team that's coming back out for this second half. No surprises there, really. Arsenal been in control of the game. We just need to manage it well in the second half, don't we? We just need to not do anything stupid, not allow Bournemouth to get a goal early on. And if we do that, I'm sure we'll be able to see this through with the victory. And I expect Bournemouth to come out flying at the start of the second half. Tommy Asu looks as though he's got a shirt in his hand ready to come on. So I don't know whether that's going to be a change that we might see quite soon. Not sure if Bournemouth are going to be making any changes. Doesn't look like it at half time. They're just going for a little warm up as they come back out onto the pitch for the second half. And yeah, we're looking forward to this second half now, aren't we? See if Arsenal can get some more goals. Would be nice, wouldn't it? A nice big away victory would be good. We've already scored more goals in this game than any previous away game this season, so that's a good start, isn't it? Let's hope we can go on from here and push on and get a few more. Terry says, just watch the short highlights, Steve. Exciting to watch, but they're all mentally disturbed. I think it's quite mental, that game, isn't it? But anyway, we're just about to start the second half here at the Vitality Stadium. It's going to be Arsenal to kick off. We are going to be attacking the goal to our left in this second half. Steve says, I'm biased, but the greatest game on earth. It's very exciting. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely exciting. So anyway, Arsenal going to kick off this second half, attacking the end to our left, which is kind of where the Arsenal fans are. They're along the side of that left-hand corner. So it'd be nice to get a goal, wouldn't it, in front of the fans? You can see the goal better from there. Goals at the other end a bit more tricky to see, aren't they? So it'd be nice to get one in the goal that we're attacking in this second half. It's a throw though to Bournemouth very early on. Zinchenko wins that header, but Philip Billing wins that header. He's a big, tall player, isn't he, Philip Billing? But Arsenal now looking to get possession again, Gabriel Jesus, and in the end, it's just a simple tackle there from Max Aarons. It was him that conceded that penalty that's given Arsenal the second goal and really put Arsenal in control, you have to say. But it's a throw to Arsenal on this near side. Zinchenko just in front of those Arsenal fans, looking to get another goal, which will really seal the victory if it isn't already sealed. Zinchenko now on this near side, plays it up the line to Eddie Nketiah, flicks it inside. Arsenal trying to be a little bit too clever there. And in the end, that counter-attack was stopped there by Declan Rice's tackle on Cliver. He's definitely related to Patrick Cliver, isn't he? He looks a bit like him. It must be his son. Anyway, Arsenal one possession again over on that far side, but Bukayo Saka finds Kai Havertz. Now it's with Martin Odegaard. Kai Havertz makes a run into the box. Is Martin Odegaard going to try a shot? Zinchenko gives it back to Martin Odegaard inside the penalty area, threads it through. Bukayo Saka's there. Good save by the goalkeeper. Comes out again to Zinchenko. His shot is blocked. It's a corner to Arsenal. Very nearly 3-0 actually. Good play there from the goalkeeper. Came out and smothered the ball, and then Zinchenko shot then hit the goalkeeper. Saka was quickly onto that ball there, actually looking to try and loft it over the goalkeeper. Good save initially, and then Zinchenko's follow-up effort. Was it blocked or was it saved? It was blocked there by the defender, Senesi, and it is going to be a corner to Arsenal over on the far side. Bukayo Saka's going to take this. A lot of Arsenal bodies in the box. Are we going to get the third goal here? It is Bukayo Saka with the ball towards the end of the 6-yard. Goalkeeper's got that though. Neto, comfortable catch for him. What a great corner. And Bournemouth survived that particular Arsenal attack. We've played 2.5 minutes of this second half. Still, as we were, Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2. No changes from either side on the pitch either. And no real change to the pattern of the play. Arsenal looking in control. Oh, Eddie Nketiah's won the ball back illegally there. And it's given as a free kick to Bournemouth. And the referee, Michael Salisbury, is just going to go over and have a little word with Eddie Nketiah, is he? Just by his reaction, really, he showed a bit. Oh, in fact, it's Mikel Arteta who the referee speaking to. Mikel Arteta continues that conversation with the fourth official. I mean, it was a bit of a soft foul, but I don't know, actually. The Bournemouth player has put his arm around Eddie Nketiah, so as Eddie Nketiah is pulling away, he's going to pull him down, isn't he? Anyway. The ball now is back with the Bournemouth goalkeeper. Neto dribbles it out of his penalty and then goes long up that far side. Looking for Tavernier, I think it was. He's played well, actually, Marcus Tavernier. Is he the Tavernier who used to play for Rangers? Not sure if he is. But anyway, he's had a decent game for Bournemouth today. In fact, Bournemouth have played pretty well. They just lack the quality, don't they, to win games of this nature. Can they win enough games to stay up this season? They're in a battle, aren't they? I think there's one relegation place up for grabs because I think Sheffield United and Luton are definitely going to go down. And it's just who's going to go down with them. It's between maybe Burnley, Everton, Bournemouth. Nottingham Forest could get dragged into it, but I think they'll be fine. But certainly Bournemouth aren't safe, are they? They need to pick up some victories very, very soon. But they're not looking likely to get one today, are they? Arsenal in total control of this game. Long ball played forward. There's no Arsenal player there, though. And it goes back to the goalkeeper, Neto. In fact, Neto leaves it to Senesi there. Back, and Arsenal just forcing them back a little bit. It's good pressure from Arsenal. 5 minutes played in the second half. Long goal kick there. Ball played all the way through. There's no Bournemouth player there. It goes all the way through to David Raya. Neto there acknowledges the fact it wasn't a great ball. And Arsenal can now try and build from the back. playing it through midfield. Zinchenko lays it off to William Saliba. Now Ben White over on that far side in front of the dugouts over on that far side, and Arsenal now looking to come forward. It's with Kai Havertz on the edge of the penalty area. Finds Jesus on his near side. Gabriel Jesus leaves it to Saka. Saka dinks across up towards the far post. Goes beyond everyone. Comes to Ben White. Chips it back into the box again. Headed out by the Bournemouth defence. Saka keeps the ball alive. Havertz is in there. Tackle on him there by Ryan Christie. In fact, the referee's given another penalty, is he? Oh, that's another one that looks a little bit harsh. Christie did come across Martin Odegaard. He looked like he won the ball. I want to see the replay of this, actually. Because that was let's have a look at the replay of this, and it came back to Martin Odegaard there. Well, I mean, he slid across in front of him. Has he won the ball? I don't know if he has, really. Actually, I don't think he has won the ball. Very, very clumsy. It looked very clumsy, didn't it, actually, from Christie? So you can understand why the referee's given that. It was a very unnecessary, clumsy tackle. And Arsenal have got a second penalty just after the start of the second half. I think VAR are checking this because there's a slight delay. It hasn't actually been confirmed yet. Is the referee going to go and look at the screen, or is he just going to give it anyway? Is he going to stick with his original decision? I think he is. Who's going to take it? Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka. Obviously, Saka didn't take the first one. Odegaard didn't scored. Saka's got the ball in his hand this time. Oh, he's giving it to Kai Havertz, is he? Is Kai Havertz going to take this penalty? This could be interesting, couldn't it? Kai Havertz got an opportunity to get his first Arsenal goal. It's what he needs for his confidence, isn't it, as much as anything else? In fact, there's still a delay because I think VAR haven't actually completely decided yet whether or not it's going to be given. In fact, I think it has been given. I don't think it's going to be changed now. And it is Kai Havertz with an opportunity to score his first Arsenal goal. 52 minutes on the clock here in Bournemouth. It's a second penalty to Arsenal, chance to make it 3-0. Kai Havertz, is he going to get his first goal? This could be a big moment in his Arsenal career. Kai Havertz versus Neto. Can he get the goal? Havertz started run up, puts it in the corner. Havertz has scored his first Arsenal goal. And you can see how much it means to his teammates as well. Some really big celebrations there. And the players are pulling him over towards the Arsenal fans there. Havertz looks a little bit embarrassed by all the fuss, but he's got his first Arsenal goal, and that's going to be so important. Hopefully now he can go on and push on from here. The Arsenal fans. And don't forget, William Saliba scored his first Arsenal goal in this fixture last season, didn't he? And Kai Havertz took that penalty really well, actually, didn't he? Had a little bit of a stutter run up and then sent the keeper the wrong way, popped it into the corner. That's a very cool finish. He waited for the keeper to dive the other way, didn't he? And then looked him in the eyes and placed it in the other corner. That's a really good penalty, that is. And hopefully from Kai Havertz, that's going to do him a big favour. Although says that they gave him a goal, that's a bit perfect. No, I think it's good for his confidence. I'm glad they did that, which is good for me. Did the Odegaard shuffle, says Rogero. It kind of was, wasn't it? He stuttered and then stuck it in the corner. Terry says, I so much wanted him to miss. Arteta, BS, big time on the way. No, I mean, I didn't want him to miss. I think it's important for his confidence. I mean, look, whether or not we like Kai Havertz or whether or not we don't like the fact he played for Chelsea, whatever it might be, at the moment he's playing for Arsenal, and if he plays better, if he plays well for Arsenal, then that's good for us as a team, isn't it? And if his confidence is going to come up as a result of him scoring that penalty, then I'm all in favour of it. And if it means his performances are going to improve over the next few games, then that's brilliant. I don't really care where players played before. I don't care how they've played in the past for us. If they play well on the pitch and they're doing the job they have to do and we're winning games, then that's all great for me, and that's fine. Anyway, Bournemouth coming forward now. This game's done and dusted in terms of a result. Arsenal in complete control, so he might get more goals here. Eddie Nketiah is running through. They're not going to catch him, are they? He's on his own. He goes into the penalty area. Oh, was he brought down there? If he is, that could be in a red card, but the referee doesn't even give a free kick. He ran across the defender a little bit there, Eddie Nketiah. And he did go down. Referee says play on, and Arsenal now have won the ball back. In fact, they haven't won the ball back because the referee's given another free kick. He doesn't like Arsenal players tackling, does he, this referee? But it doesn't matter too much because we're 3-0 up. He has given us 2 penalties, let's be honest. We can't really grumble at him, can we? I mean, he did push him in the back, actually. The defender there, Zabrensky. But you can't give a penalty against a Ukrainian player, can you? It's not allowed. Well, it wouldn't have been a penalty. It would have been a red card, potentially, wouldn't it? Off-road says that Arteta will do anything to try and prove his poor decisions are correct. The players will probably have been told to give him a pen next time they get one. This is crazy. Well, no, I mean, I think what's happened is I don't think we would have expected to get a second penalty in this game. And it's very difficult for the same player to take 2 penalties against the same goalkeeper. Quite often you see the second one missed. So Martin Ødegaard maybe wasn't going to take that anyway. Yes, Bukayo Saka would be the next choice to take penalties, wouldn't he? You'd imagine he would have been next, but he had the ball, didn't he? And Martin Ødegaard, as captain, looked as though he made that decision to say, let Kai Havertz take it. We're 2-0 up. If he'd missed, it wouldn't have been the end of the world, would it? But it's given him an opportunity. And I think that's good. That's good captaincy. If it was Martin Ødegaard's decision, it's good captaincy. And even if it was Mikel Arteta's decision, that's actually good management, isn't it? Because you want to give your players confidence. Because what's the point of not? Do you know what I mean? If his confidence is down, he's got an opportunity to get a goal. Let him have it. I agree. I think it's the right decision, and he scored. And hopefully now we might see a little bit more confidence in him. Let's hope so. And it, you know, the rest of it isn't that important, really, is it? You know, Arteta's decisions we know are crazy most of the time, and that's not going to change because Kai Havertz has got a penalty. If it means Kai Havertz plays better, then that's great. Then that's good for him. It's good for us. It's happy days for everyone, isn't it? Which is what we want, isn't it? That's what it means. Terry says well, that's been worth £1 off the 65 million we wasted on him. Yeah, but if it means he's going to suddenly start playing better, then it might not be £65 million wasted in the end, will it? So we won't know that yet, will we? Because he's only just scored it. So he hasn't had time to see what impact that might make on his game and his Arsenal career. And if it has a positive impact, then why would we be unhappy with it? Anyway, Bournemouth are coming forward now, looking to try and get a goal back. They've not really threatened to score, have they, in this game? But they won a corner. William Saliba couldn't keep that ball in. Terry says, so if Saka was on a hat-trick, does Havertz still take it? I would, yeah, because what's more important, one player who's already going to get picked every week, is already, the fans love him anyway, getting a goal, or a player that needs that confidence to take it. You've got to give it to the player who needs the confidence, haven't you? I would. So, you know, that was what I would do. I don't think that's a bad decision personally. Off-road says, I could score a penalty, just slip me a tenner and I will send the keeper the wrong way. Yeah, but you see, you can't guarantee you would score a penalty. You know, plenty of penalties are missed. Even Matt Letitia, probably the greatest penalty taker of all time, missed one, didn't he? Anyone can miss a penalty. And, you know, to say you would definitely score, I don't think you can say that. Even if you scored every penalty you've ever taken, everyone misses. And Kai Havertz didn't miss, did he? He stuck it away, and fair play to him. Bournemouth are making some changes now. Number 19 is going off, which is Dustin Kluivert. He's gone off, and who's come on there? Oh, it's that one who's on loan from Leeds, isn't it? Sinistera, Louis Sinistera. A good player, him, actually. And Tavernier's gone off as well, and Quattara has come on. So 2 attacking changes for Bournemouth. Tavernier looks a little bit frustrated to be taken off, and I'm kind of with him. I thought he was playing well for Bournemouth. He had a good game. A little bit, you know, surprised it's him that's gone off actually, but it's maybe just they want to make some changes, don't they? I suppose. Vijay says the fans are singing and Terry is complaining. Well, I mean, you know, Terry doesn't like Havertz, does he? Which is fair enough. Alfo says that yes, he would. Arteta is woke. His Arsenal is all about sharing. Not with. No, I agree with that 100%. It is, but ultimately, if it's going to give a player a bit of confidence in a game that's already won, I don't see the harm in it personally. I agree with you. It's not a winning mentality, but he scored the goal, and if it means Havertz plays better, then what's wrong with that? Do you know what I mean? What's wrong with that? Anyway, Terry says that's how sad our fans are. Unless they're singing to take the point. No, I mean, I'm sure they're singing because we're winning 3-0 away from home in a game that we need to win. Anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal there. I think Zinchenko was fouled. Oh, that's quite a bad foul, actually. He caught the back of his foot, Ryan Christie. And it is a free kick to Arsenal. We're just coming up to the hour mark. It is Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. And Arsenal are cruising, you have to say at this point, cruising to 3 points on the south coast. Jesus plays it into Eddie Nketiah now. It's Havertz on this near side. pulls it across. Oh, it would have almost fell to Eddie Nketiah. Would have had a tap in there. Good defending actually there from Zabarski, and it is a corner though to Arsenal. And this is where we are at this moment in time. Although says nearly 4, it was nearly 4 indeed. A good opportunity that would have been for Eddie just to have tucked that away. Anyway, it's a corner to Arsenal in front of the Arsenal fans on this near side. Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard are over it. Last couple of times we've played it shorter. Are we going to play one into the box? We don't score too many from corners, do we? We know it does go short again. Martin Odegaard plays it back to Declan Rice, to the edge of the box to Zinchenko. He's taken all the momentum out of that, but he has managed to find Bukayo Saka, shoots from outside the box, hits a Bournemouth defender. But Arsenal still in possession inside the box, and Martin Odegaard tried to thread it through, but Bournemouth defended that pretty well. But they've given the ball away in a dangerous area there. But now they can come forward on this near side. It is the substitute Quatera there on a bit of a run. But he's given the ball away. And Arsenal now looking to play it out from the back. Declan Rice does really well. He's an absolute Rolls Royce of a player, isn't he? Gabriel Jesus was fouled as he cut inside. It was Lewis Cook that fouled him. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Midway inside Arsenal's half, I think Zinchenko is going to take this. Arsenal yet to make any changes. See, this is the sort of game when you're 3-0 up away from home, where you can start to give some of your squad players some minutes on the pitch in the Premier League. Some players who played well the other night, Reece Nelson, Emil Smith-Rowe, players like this who can, who maybe need some Premier League minutes on the pitch, don't they? And now's a perfect opportunity game like this. You're 3-0 up. We've got a Champions League game on Tuesday, so there's, we can give some players a rest. I would take Saka off, give him a rest, bring Reece Nelson on. I would, you could take Kai Havertz off. Maybe you want to leave him on there. He's just scored. You could give some players a rest, couldn't we, and get some subs. I want to see Emil Smith-Rowe come on. Be interesting to see if he does. Anyway, Havertz now bringing the ball forward for Arsenal on this near side, finds Gabriel Jesus. Can maybe take Eddie off and get Smith-Rowe on and move Jesus through the middle. Declan Rice now pings it out to that far side. Martin Odegaard plays it out to that far side. Bukayo Saka gets it back. Saka from Odegaard plays it back again to Martin Odegaard. That's a good link up those two have, don't they? A good relationship over on that side. Martin Odegaard plays it into Zinchenko, who's playing in a central midfield position. Kai Havertz now on the edge of the box. Try to lay it off into the path there of Martin Odegaard. Bournemouth do clear that away. Well, that's been given away by Zinchenko trying to dive in header for some unknown reason in the middle of midfield. And Bournemouth now coming forward. Max Aarons. He gave away the first penalty. He's run all the way across the side of the pitch. It's a good ball as well out wide. Bournemouth looking to try to find a goal back. Surely it will just be a consolation, you'd imagine, although there is still over 25 minutes still to play. So who knows? It could be a goal and suddenly we could see do you remember when Arsenal came back from 3-0 down here? Although Bournemouth did have a player sent off that day, didn't they, if you remember? Anyway, Bournemouth coming forward again. And it was a little backheel there from Otera. The cross comes in, but easily dealt with there by Gabriel. And now it's the other Gabriel Jesus tries to play the ball forward. It's blocked by Philip Billing, but Arsenal still in possession. Zinchenko plays it across to William Saliba. Now it's Declan Rice, pings it forward to Martin Odegaard. First time to Havertz, who lays it off. Zinchenko then puts it wide over on that far side. Bukayo Saka, good take on the chest, but he couldn't keep it under control. But Kai Havertz has picked it back up for Arsenal, looking for a fourth goal. Arsenal here. It's Bournemouth coming forward, looking for what would surely only be a consolation goal, even though there's still quite a long way to go. They certainly don't look like getting 3 goals, do they, Bournemouth, let's be honest. And Arsenal look as though we're heading to a fairly routine away victory that we would have all expected, of course, before, wouldn't we? We expect to win games like this. And it looks as though we're going to get a nice comfortable 3 points. Let's just have a little update, shall we, on the other scores in the Premier League today. Man City have equalised away at Wolves, unsurprisingly there. It's Alvarez, just at the 58th minute, actually. What else have we got? That's it. That's the only other goal. That's the only goal in the second half other than Kai Havertz's penalty. So Man City know they're going to go on and win that game, I'm sure. Anyway, Arsenal, and they've got some defending to do as Bournemouth come forward over on that far side. But Arsenal defend that pretty well. 65 minutes played. And it is still Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. And 3 goals and 3 points is coming Arsenal's way. Bournemouth now coming forward, Ryan Christie, but good defending again by Declan Rice, I think it was. But Bournemouth has picked up the loose ball. They're still in possession over on that far side, but they don't look like scoring, do they? They just don't seem to have that in them, do they, today? Anyway, they are coming forward again, though, to see if we can make it a little bit more interesting, maybe, as a game. Obviously, I don't want Bournemouth to score. It'd be nice for David Raya to get 3 clean sheets in 3 games in the Premier League, wouldn't it? I know, actually, didn't he? He conceded 2 against Tottenham, didn't he? Yeah, but his other clean sheet was in the Champions League, wasn't it, of course? Anyway, Bournemouth have got a corner now, so we have got a little bit more defending to do. Terry says there, can you explain to me, because I can't see it, what you see 65 million plus 300k a week wages, what makes Havertz a star in your eyes? That's not Rajendra there. He says he ain't done jack in my eyes, shouldn't even be at the club. Well, he's just scored a goal, for one thing, and I wouldn't say he's done badly. It's difficult, isn't it, to forget the 65 million, I agree, but let's give him a bit more time. That cross comes in, David Raya's there, comfortable catch. He's just made that one save today, hasn't he, David Raya, in that first half? A decent save it was. But Bournemouth have offered very, very little in an attacking sense. And the Bournemouth fans looking a little frustrated. Unsurprisingly, it looks as though they've got a long season ahead as they fight against relegation. Anyway, Eddie Nketiah does really well, actually. Turned away. He needs some support. We need some bodies in the box. Eddie Nketiah is going to go on his own as he tries a shot from the edge of the box. It's gone wide. Good work, though, from Eddie there. Did it all on his own. Cut inside from that left-hand side and then fired a shot. It was well wide in the end. But enterprising play from Eddie Nketiah. The general says that Havertz does not have 300k a week. It's 160k a week, same wages as at Chelsea. I don't know about that. I'm not sure, actually. Anyway, that is Eddie Nketiah's last involvement. He is going off. And who's coming on? I didn't see who was coming on, actually. I was reading the comment there. Let's have a look and see who's coming on for Eddie Nketiah. Zinchenko's going off. I think Tomiyasu must be coming on because he was warming up before, wasn't he? Good to see Tomiyasu getting some minutes. Let's see who else it is. It's Reece Nelson, so it isn't Emil Smith-Rowe. Emil Smith-Rowe has definitely done something bad in his life to Arteta, hasn't he? Maybe he just doesn't like the dog win. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Emil Smith-Rowe doesn't get on with the dog, and that's why he's not playing. Perhaps that's what it is. I'm not sure. Offroad says the issue with Arteta's players is the mentality. Arsenal are now a confident side. When we're winning, we look like scoring more. When we are losing, we lack mentality to come back. Oh, absolutely. 1,000,000% you're correct. And I've been saying this for the last 3 years. And that is the problem. And what he's done is, I've been thinking about this quite a lot, actually, quite recently, because people have been saying about, Arteta won the FA Cup. He won the FA Cup with the players that were already at the club, which was a team that Arsene Wenger bought the players, Emery bought the players. And these were players that had won trophies throughout their career, top international players, Aubameyang, Mesut Ozil, and players like that, Hector Bellerin, players that had been at the club, won trophies at Arsenal previously as well. And for me, they had more of that winning mentality. And Arteta has replaced them all with these lovely, nice guys who play some lovely little fancy football, but don't have that winning mentality. You're absolutely right. And this is why last season, when the pressure was on, we fell to pieces. And the season before, when the top 4 was there, the pressure was on, we fell to pieces. And you're absolutely right. When we're winning games like this game, we're winning 3-0, absolutely comfortable. We look a good side. We look as though we can beat anybody. But then we go behind in a game, and you're right. We don't have, when it matters, now this part in the season isn't really that important in terms of the pressure. There's no pressure, is there? Pep said it before. He said it last season. he doesn't get excited about games until February, March, when it really matters. That's when you have to win games. Man City win games when they have to win games. All the best successful teams do that, and Arsenal don't. When Arsenal need to win games, we can't win a game. We don't know how to. We don't know how to get that done. And that comes from the manager, and it comes from the fact the manager's bought these players that don't have that mentality. You're absolutely right. And I've been saying this pretty much since Arteta came. All the players that we had that had that mentality, he didn't want because he couldn't work with them. So he got rid of them all and got a load of young players, mostly haven't really achieved much in their career. And he's tried to sprinkle a few, like for example, Zinchenko and Jesus, who was only really second choices at Manchester City, because they happen to have been in sides that have won some trophies. He seems to think that that's what we needed. We saw last season it wasn't. Declan Rice is a slightly different kettle of fish. He only won the one trophy at West Ham, but I do think he's got that winning mentality. Actually, Declan Rice is one of the only ones. Granit Xhaka did, and he's gone now. So yeah, I totally agree with that, and it's something that we'll need to change if we are going to win these big trophies. Absolutely. Terry says that even if Havertz is on £10 a week, he still ain't good enough. No, well, he hasn't done enough yet, but I say it's still early days. Alvaro says that's the big difference between us and Man City and Liverpool. Absolutely. Well, no, the big difference is the manager, isn't it? The managers, Pep and Klopp, are winners. They've got that whole winning mentality through, haven't they? And Arteta hasn't, and you can see it in the players. And I said this last season, right? And I know obviously you wasn't on our channel last season. You won't probably have heard it, so I'll repeat it for you, mate. It's like, if last season in that title running with the same players, if Pep was manager of Arsenal and Arteta was manager of Manchester City, Arsenal win the league. Last season, Arsenal would have won the league if we just swapped managers. No difference to the players. Just swap managers. If we swap managers at Christmas, we would have won that league, and Man City would have come second. That's, it's not necessarily just the players; it's the manager, the whole mentality and mindset of the manager. I mean, when All or Nothing was on, we saw, didn't we? I'll never forget it, that game we were playing before we played Liverpool at Anfield. We lost 4-0 that day, if you remember. And what actually happened was, before the game, Arteta said to the players, I had some really difficult games here as a player. That doesn't fill you with confidence, does it? That's bigging up the opposition. That's making it, well, this is a difficult game. No, you tell your players, we can win this game. Don't care what's happened before. We haven't won here for years. Let's go out there and show them that we're different now. But he didn't do that, did he? Oh, well, I found it difficult here as a player. I mean, that's the loser's mentality right there, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a look. What are we doing here? Rajendra says that Emery did not have winning mentality. Where was the mentality in the Europa League final? Well, you say, should we compare what trophies Unai Emery's won compared to what Arteta's won as a manager? Because I would say that Unai Emery has got a winning mentality, more so because he's actually won a lot of trophies as a manager. Arteta's basically won almost nothing. So, yes, the Europa League final, we were good in the first half, actually, and we conceded a really soft goal, didn't we? And then the confidence went from the players. And, yes, the manager's to blame for that. The players are to blame for that, absolutely. But I think overall, you're looking at one game. The fact is he got us to a European final. It just so happened that we played Chelsea. Had we played a European team, I think we'd have won that final. And Unai Emery would probably have kept his job. Whether that would have been the right thing or the wrong thing, we'll never know, will we now? Because it's past. But Unai Emery, you can't say Unai Emery hasn't got a winning mentality when the trophies he's won. You have to say he has. We just lost the final. Arsene Wenger lost finals. Pep's lost finals. Pep's lost Champions League finals. Does that mean Pep's not a winner because he lost the Champions League final? No, because he's won other trophies and he's won lots of them. And Unai Emery has as well. Alvaro says 0. It's probably okay training, but in a match, nothing. Yeah, you're probably right. Billing's gone off actually with 15 minutes to play for Bournemouth, and Rothwell's come on. Joe Rothwell. I think he's one of their young players, isn't he? Billing looks like he's got a bit of an injury actually. Philip Billing. He didn't have a great game today actually. I was bigging him up beforehand. I do like him as a player. Maybe it wasn't his day today, was it? Saka's now gone down injured again. He seems to be permanently gets injured, doesn't he? And then he's always back for the next game. But I think he might have to go off in this game. So there you go. Where are we up to with the comments? There's a few. In fact, Fabio Vieira's come. I'm not even Smith Rowe again. Sorry, I'm not having it. I don't believe anything Smith Rowe said the other day about he's got no problem with Arteta. He's happy. He's not happy. He's going to be God. Legendra says, you must have liked Terry Neal or Don Howe as managers. No, not particularly. Don Howe didn't really win anything as a manager, did he? He was better as a second in command, but he wasn't really great as a manager, was he? Terry Neal, again, he found difficulties dealing with big personalities, didn't he? And that cost him his job in the end, really. I mean, I first started going to Highbury when just after the good days of Terry Neal, if you like, after Brady had gone and Stapleton was going and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so maybe I didn't see the best of Terry Neal, but no, I didn't think Terry Neal was a great manager. No. Andrew says we were great then. We wasn't great when Terry Neal was manager, was we? We were pretty much like we are now. We were an all right cup team, never really did much in the league. Terry says, how many trophies has everyone compared to? Well, we are. I've made that point before. Exactly right. He's won lots, hasn't he? Off-road says, Arteta sees what he wants in training when it doesn't work in a match. Arteta can't compare the two. No, you're right. Terry says, Terry Neal was my first manager. He was my first manager as well, yeah. We're the same era, Terry, aren't we? We know that. And, yeah, I mean, I kind of missed, well, not missed. I was an Arsenal fan. I wasn't going to games until sort of the second half of Terry Neal's reign when things wasn't so good. So I say maybe my opinion of him isn't the same as other people. I never thought he was a great manager. He did okay, didn't he, for a few years, did well in the cups, managed to find, in one-off games, he seemed to be able to find an answer, didn't he? But over a season of league game, he didn't come up with enough answers, did he? And we had a team that was good enough to have competed more for the league. We saw that with some of the cup results that we got, beating Liverpool and all those replays and whatever. But General says we could not afford Pep. Man City can afford him with their funds from all the oil money. Yeah, well, they can, but I mean, you can't tell me we can't afford a better manager than Arteta, because we certainly can. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again, looking for the fourth goal. Are we going to get one? Oh, a shot across the goal there from Gabriel Jesus. Somebody needed to be in that 6-yard box where I touched that in. And Jesus makes a little gesture there to the Bournemouth fans behind the goal, sarcastically there. No doubt, I'll give him a bit of stick for missing. Well, it wasn't really a miss. It looked like, see, Reece Nelson made the wrong run. You've got to attack that near post, haven't you? And he didn't. And the ball's got exactly in that area. I think that's a shot from Jesus, if you're totally honest. But anyway, Alfredo says, well, I watched Arsenal home and away under Terry Neal and Don Howe. We were a club then, not a business. Yeah, we were, absolutely. Oh, it was 100% we were a club then, and it was much more enjoyable. But let's be honest, either of them wasn't great managers. Bournemouth have given the ball away. Fabio Vieira's first opportunity, plays the ball through to Jesus. It wasn't a great ball, actually, and the goalkeeper's come out and grabbed it. And in fact, Jesus has kicked his hand in trying to get the ball, and it's going to be a free kick to Bournemouth. Regendra says 3-0 Aston Villa are in the Champions League. I don't understand that, but anyway. Terry says our club have money. Just look how much they've wasted since Arteta. No, you're right. We've got money. Absolutely, we've got money. Yeah. Regendra says Terry Neal and Don Howe, Terry's namesake must be what Terry loved. Yeah, well, maybe he was named after Terry Neal. Who knows? Terry says, I've got winning mentality, not praise someone to make them feel better. If you need calling out, you call it. No, that's fair enough. I mean, we appreciate your honesty, Terry. Of course we do. And, we've got no problem with that at all. Steve says they're men, no boys. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's the difference. Oh, Smith Rowe is coming on now. Arteta's giving him lots of instructions because, of course, he doesn't know what he's doing, Emil Smith Rowe. It's not like he kept the club up in, kept Mikel Arteta his job 2 years ago, but Mikel Arteta feels the need to tell him every single little thing he's got to do. He micromanages every single player, doesn't he? And this is why we'll never win anything under this manager. Alfo says they're applauding Havertz off the pitch here. ESR replacing him should have been the other way round. Well, I agree. Today it should have been, absolutely. Havertz, ESR should have started this game. He needs minutes, he needs confidence, and he needs that time on the pitch, doesn't he? You could see he ran out of legs a bit the other night, and that's the problem, isn't it? He's going to get 10 minutes plus stoppage time today. Why didn't he come on before Vieira? Jorginho's coming on as well, actually. I wonder if he's going to concede a goal, give a goal away again. But Smith Rowe's coming on, and I do like to see Smith Rowe coming on, getting some minutes in the Premier League. I say when you're 3-0 up in this sort of game, that's what you've got to do. You've got to give him some time. Havertz getting an applause there from the Arsenal fans, and that's fair enough. You know, he scored his first goal today, and I think they're more clapping the fact Smith Rowe's coming on, to be honest. But anyway, hopefully this is a start for him. Jorginho's come on as well. Declan Rice has gone off. Player that we were talking about potentially had an injury coming into this game. So Jorginho's on again. I don't mind Jorginho actually, so I've got no problem with him coming on. Be nice for Smith Rowe to get a goal, wouldn't it, in these last 10 minutes to kind of prove his point a little bit more. Anyway, Jesus is now through the centre. Reece Nelson looks as though he's... I'm not sure where Reece Nelson's playing. Smith Rowe looks as though he's almost in the Ødegaard position, even though Ødegaard is still on the pitch. Anyway, Ødegaard has got the ball now over on that far side. We are into the last 10 minutes. And Arsenal looking as though we are definitely winning this game. And hopefully another clean sheet away from home. Ødegaard was fouled there. No yellow card, it looks like, for the Bournemouth players again. They've got away with quite a few fouls, haven't they? The general says there, winning is raising everyone around you and bringing the best from them, not killing players mentally. Yeah, winning, to me, winning the big games are what shows the mentality of the team. You know, beating Bournemouth away, let's be honest, we've got better players than Bournemouth. We should be beating Bournemouth away. You know, we've got Man City in next week, haven't we? That's going to be the sort of game where this is where we have to step up and say, this is what we can do. They're the big games where that's where you show your mentality. And that's where we've failed in the past, haven't we? But let's see, maybe this season is going to be different. You know, we're still unbeaten. This will be 10 games in all competitions now. And if you go back to the last game of last season, it'll be 11 games unbeaten. Bournemouth make another 2 substitutions here. Semenyo's coming on, and Adam Smith is coming on as well. And Kirkez is going off, and Ryan Christie as well. So that's all their substitutions done now in these last 10 minutes. Terry says there, let's hope we get another pen and ESR takes it so he gets a bit of recognition. Yeah, let's give the next pen to ESR, definitely. Have Arsenal ever got three penalties in a game before? I can't remember last time we got 2, actually. I seem to remember Ian Wright scored 2 penalties in one game, didn't he? Was it against Ipswich or Southampton or somebody? I seem to remember. I can't remember Arsenal ever getting three different penalties in the same game. Maybe someone knows if we have or not. I can't remember it, if I'm honest. Off-road says, what's the betting? Havertz starts against Man City. What excuse will Arteta have if we lose? Well, the excuse is that Man City are the best team ever to play football. That's what everyone will say. That's the reason why we didn't win the league last year, not because we bottled it, because Manchester City are just too good. But even despite the fact we had a big lead on them that we threw away, two goal leads that we blew in 2 consecutive games, and then drawing at home to the worst team in the league, that's not because Man City were good. We didn't throw those games away because Man City were good. We threw those games away because we bottled it. And if we lose to Man City next week, then it'll be a similar thing again, won't it? You know, we haven't beaten Man City in the league. I can't remember last time we beat them. That's how long ago it is. Steve says, what have I missed? What sort of complaint? We haven't really missed anything. Nothing's happened. Since we got the 3rd goal, the game's dead. So we're just having a little chat about Mikel Arteta and a few of his decisions and this team in general. Is this team good enough to win the big trophies? There's a few of us here who don't believe we are, from the evidence that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years. And we're going to find out a little bit more next week, aren't we, when Manchester City come to the Emirates. And if we beat them next week, then I would say suddenly we can start to maybe think that maybe it's different this time. It's different this time. But we have to see. Anyway, Tomiyasu now is bringing the ball forward. Almost looked like he was going to go on a little run there all on his own. Instead, he played the ball back to Martin Ødegaard, and he plays it out to that far side. You have to say, it becomes quite boring, doesn't it, when Arsenal have got a game won quite early on, because there's no intensity in our play. We're just happy to keep the ball, pass it around. And this is, it's the Man City way, isn't it? And this is one of the reasons why I've never enjoyed watching Man City play. It's only good watching Man City if they're in a battle and they've got a fight. Once Man City are 2-2 or 3-0 up, you might as well switch off. In fact, I usually do switch off. It's almost the same with this Arsenal team now. It's not exciting to watch, is it? It's just boring, keep the ball. Which, you've got to manage the game. We can't complain about that. It just becomes boring to watch. That's all. That's my only issue with it. Terry says, I've been in combat sports most of my life. And if you don't turn up, you're soon found out and hurt. That's why it gets on my nerves praising players when they're crap. Well, no, I agree with that. Yeah. Terry says, we're moaning that you left the chat, Steve, for 2 minutes. There's no excuse for that. No, there isn't. You're right. Yeah, it's all Steve's fault for leaving us for a few minutes. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward again. We're into the last 4 minutes. Steve says, charging phone. Well, you should have planned it a bit earlier and charged your phone before the game. Anyway, in again, is it going to be a fourth goal? Oh, not quite there. It was Gabriel Jesus, beat the keeper, couldn't quite turn the ball in from a tight angle, and now he's hobbling. He spends his whole life hobbling, doesn't he, Gabriel Jesus? Typical Man City kind of player, isn't he? He did well there, actually, initially, then couldn't quite get the ball past the keeper and couldn't quite turn it in. Steve said, who scored the third? You'll never guess. You'll never guess. In fact, I'm going to let you guess because I think it'll be quite funny. Don't check. Have a guess first, and we'll let you know if you're right. It was another penalty. I'll tell you that. It was another penalty, and see if you can guess who it was that scored the penalty. Anyway, we've played 86 minutes. There's 4 minutes to go, and Arsenal are 3-0 up. We're cruising and coasting to a comfortable 3 points, although Bournemouth have currently got a free kick. Gabriel Jesus is still struggling following that chance he just had when he was limping into the last few minutes. So shall we have a little look at the score, shall we, just for fun? See what else is going on in the Premier League this afternoon. Luton are still winning at Everton. Wow. Crystal Palace are still winning at Man U. Well, Newcastle are 2-0 up against Burnley. Isaac with a goal. And Wolves are still 2-1 up against Man City with 2 minutes to play. It's Wang Hee-chan who's got their second goal there. So are we going to claw back 3 points on Man City, beat them next week, and it's all there, isn't it? Terry gave us Steve a bit of a clue there. Here's a clue: £65 million of crap, and obviously Steve guessed it. Havertz, yes, it was Kai Havertz with a penalty fairly early in the second half, which is pretty much means this game is done and dusted. Let's be honest. But anyway, we shall see what happens in the rest of the game. Terry says, "Great guess." Yeah, it was. I don't know how he got it actually. I think it was just a wild guess. He did well, didn't he? Anyway, Bournemouth are now in possession. We're in the 88th minute. It is Bournemouth nil, Arsenal 3. This game has been won and finished for quite a long time. And Bournemouth are looking to get what would only be a consolation goal and spoil the clean sheet away. We haven't let the goal away from home yet. And that ball's played forward, but it's straight into the arms of David Raya. Steve says, wow, I'm shocked. It was a penalty, and he did take it pretty well, actually. Did a little stuttered run up and sent the keeper the wrong way. Rajendra says, Terry, did you win your championship? I'm sure he won at least one. Steve said, did keeper move away? Well, the keeper dived the other way. He kind of ran up to it, did a little stop, a half stop. The keeper went to his left and Havertz put it into the right. A nice little penalty, actually. Anyway, Bournemouth are coming forward now, but Reece Nelson should see that behind. It is going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. And very shortly, we're going to find out how much stoppage time there's going to be, because we're just coming into that now. In these last few moments of this game. Incredible. I'm just looking at the stats for the Man City game. They've had 21 shots and Wolves have had 3. And yet Man City are losing 2-1. That's incredible, isn't it? It's been. Do you remember that game? I think was it Nottingham Forest last season when they drew 1-1, and they had a similar kind of thing, didn't they? They had about 25 chances and drew the game 1-1. And today they're losing. I wouldn't be surprised if they do pop up with an equaliser in the last few minutes. But anyway, we are about to go into stoppage time here at the Vitality Stadium. It is Arsenal having no such problems. It is still Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. And some of the other games, all the games are coming up towards the final stage. Anyway, Gabriel Jesus now looking to get a 4th goal for Arsenal. He's held back He's held back, but the play goes on, and it's in the box. Smith Rowe. Oh, he's put it wide. Oh, big chance for Smith Rowe to get his first Premier League goal for what must be 2 years. I can't remember the last Premier League goal he scored. He's got his head in his hands. He knows that was a big chance. Jesus made it there, a good run, showed good strength actually. It was actually a foul, but the referee played on. Reece Nelson touched it through to Smith Rowe. Well, did the keeper save that actually? Because it might be a good save, in which case it wasn't the miss that it looked like it was. Actually, I don't think the keeper did save it. I think Smith Rowe just put that wide. That was the moment for him. And then the goalie did get a touch on it. It's a good save actually by the keeper. And it is a corner to Arsenal, so fair play. It was unlucky, Smith Rowe there. Very, very unlucky. Although it says someone put the ball on the spot and gently coaxed Havertz into having a go. Just kick the ball between those two posts. Yeah, kind of. It was a little bit like that. Although it says Arteta has got his usual yellow card. Yeah, he's just getting a yellow card now, Mikel Arteta, probably for sarcasm towards the fourth official. Not quite sure why. Taking the short corner again. We love these short corners, don't we? Terry said there, Greenwich, South London and Northern Area champion, and also fought in Germany for London Boys Club. Oh, fantastic. Sounds like that would have been very good. Anyway, Arsenal got a throw. We are going to have 7 minutes of stoppage time, of which we've already played a minute where that substitution was going on. And our throw says there, Man U lost again. Yeah, they're pretty crap, aren't they? They have lost against Crystal Palace by 1-0. Incredible, really. What a terrible season they're having. But they had a few problems last season, didn't they? And they ended up getting in the top 4, winning the trophy. So let's not write them off quite yet, shall we? Because there's still, still plenty of time in this season yet. Anyway, Arsenal just keeping possession in the Bournemouth half. We have played 2 minutes of the 7 of stoppage time. Arsenal looking more likely to get a 4th goal than anything else. Martin Odegaard now over on that far side. Jorginho finds Ben White infield to Smith Rowe. This is a good play from Arsenal. Actually, there's a free kick now over on that far side. And Arsenal are going to get another opportunity to get the ball in the box. Fabio Vieira was fouled there. And it's a free kick to Arsenal. Fabio Vieira just turned away there and then he was caught with the late challenge there from Sinistera on loan from Leeds. He's a decent player in match, isn't he, Sinistera? Anyway, it is a free kick to Arsenal out on that far side. Opportunity to get the ball in the box. Martin Odegaard is standing over it. Here's Martin Odegaard now going to take this free kick for Arsenal. Curl bends it in. It's flicked on. It's in. Ben White with the goal. His first goal of the season. It is 4-0 to Arsenal. Comfortable victory. Ben White it is with the header. Martin Odegaard's free kick over on that far side. Curled in towards the near post. Ben White rose unopposed. Headed it in. And Arsenal lead 4-0. It's been a very, very comfortable victory for Arsenal today. Not too much of a shock, really. Rajendra says 4-0. Unopposed header. Good header from about, 7 yards. Decent free kick in. Ben White rose up, headed it in. Top corner. Great header, actually. Brilliant stuff. Steve says, you said 4-1, Terry. Terry gone, come on, Bournemouth, nick one. No, we're not Bournemouth to nick one. We want David Raya to get another clean sheet. Because the more clean sheets he gets, the less likely we are Aaron Ramsdale's going to get back in goal. Which is what we need, isn't it? But it is 4-0. Oh, VAR. What's VAR getting involved in this for? He's not offside. What are you doing? Possible offside. Who's offside there? Come on, who's offside there? Absolutely nobody. I can't see where Ben White is. He's certainly not offside, is he? There's a Bournemouth defender behind him. We didn't see VAR checks, did we, for the penalties? Certainly one of them looks a little bit suspect. But we're going to get a VAR check for a goal that's clearly onside. But anyway, that's VAR for you, isn't it? Yeah, there's no offside there, is there? There's no offside at all. If anything, I thought it might have been a possible foul, but it wasn't a foul either. There's nothing wrong with that goal. Has it been given or not? Not too sure. Ben White isn't celebrating, so not quite sure what's happened here. Yeah, the goal's been given. It as 4-0. No problem at all. The Arsenal fans celebrating twice for 1 goal. But yeah, 4-0 to Arsenal. We played 5 of the 7 minutes of stoppage time. It'll be a bit more now, of course, because of that VAR check. There's been a substitution as well. Arsenal looking for more goals now. All this is nice from Arsenal. Odegaard, there's space here for Jesus inside the penalty area. Lays it off to Smith Rowe. A shot. Oh, good save from the keeper again. Again, the keeper's denied Smith Rowe a goal. Must feel it's not quite his time at the minute, isn't it? Really unlucky there. Offroad says that ESR nearly scored twice. More effort in 10 minutes than Havertz all season. Well, I mean, he's playing in a slightly more advanced role, isn't he, as well? But yeah, he's done well since he's come on. He's got a big point to prove, hasn't he, ESR? And that was a good effort, actually. And it's brought another corner again. Arsenal play it short now. We don't like getting the ball in the box, do we? But we might do now. Jorginho plays it out to that far side. And was that a foul? It wasn't a foul. And Bournemouth are going to bring the ball away over on that far side. But again, Arsenal won the ball back. Fabio Vieira it was. In fact, it's going to be a free kick, isn't it, to Bournemouth. We're into the last minute of the 7 of stoppage time. There's a lot of empty seats now in the Bournemouth end. Not surprising, really, is it? You know, when you're losing at home in this sort of manner, it's difficult, isn't it, to stay in the ground? Lots and lots of empty seats. Bournemouth are coming forward, looking for what would only be, of course, a consolation. But that cross is headed away by Ben White, actually, who just scored the 4th goal. And Bournemouth coming forward again, looking for, I say, what would only be a consolation. We've played 6.5 minutes. I said there'd be a couple more minutes of stoppage time, wouldn't there? Because there was that ridiculous VAR check that was unnecessary. So there's probably 2 minutes to play still. Arsenal clear the ball away, but there's no Arsenal player in an advanced position. And it's going to be comfortably dealt with by Max Aarons. Bournemouth trying to come forward. So looking for some sort of consolation. The ball comes into the box. It doesn't actually. It's cleared. In fact, there goes the full-time whistle. It has finished here down on the south coast. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 4. As comfortable a victory as you could hope to see, really. After a fairly lively start from Bournemouth, Arsenal gained control. Bukayo Saka gave Arsenal the lead with a header from close range after Jesus' header had come back off the post. The game turned really just before half-time. It was a penalty, a foul on Eddie Nketiah by Max Aarons, and Martin Odegaard slotted home. That was in the 44th minute. Just after, actually, David Ray made a good save, and that proved to be quite important as well. The second half was quite easy for Arsenal. The second penalty was given. Was it Jesus was fouled for the second penalty? I think it was, wasn't it? That was a foul by Ryan Christie. And the penalty was actually given to Kai Havertz. He slotted home his first Arsenal goal to make it 3-0. The game was won. Arsenal just kept the ball. Bournemouth didn't really look like even getting a consolation. And in stoppage time, Arsenal got a 4th goal. Free kick from out on the far side. Martin Odegaard whipped him with his left foot. Ben White rose above the Bournemouth defence to head into the top corner and make it 4-0. A really comfortable Arsenal victory today. And Bournemouth look as though they've got some problems, don't they? So they've got a long season ahead. But Arsenal are going well, aren't we? Let's be honest. Off-road says they're Arsenal second in the league. Yeah, because Brighton lost as well, didn't they? Terry says, funny how our tempo has gone up since Havertz has gone off and better flowing football. Off-road says Salford now the best team in Manchester. Well, I'm not quite sure about that. Right, so we go through the scores then today. Now we've seen Arsenal win. Let's have a look at all your scores then. So Aston Villa 6, Brighton 1 was the early game. Watkins with a hat-trick there. Obviously, Arsenal won 4-0. We've just seen that. They're still playing at Everton. Everton 1, Luton 2. Wow, that would be a big win for Luton, wouldn't it? A bit unexpected there. Everton are in big trouble. Man United 0, Crystal Palace 1. Joshi Anderson with that goal in the first half. Newcastle beating Burnley 2-0. 5 clean sheets in a row for them in all competitions. Almiron and Isak penalty there. But then West Ham beat Sheffield United 2-0. Bowen and Souček. And the big one, Wolves 2, Man City 1. Well, who would have thought that? Diaz own goal. And Hang Yi Chong with the second goal, and Alvarez had equalised in the second half for for Manchester City, but they've lost for the first time in the Premier League. They lost in the Carabao Cup the other night. We play them next. Well, they've got a Champions League game, but we play them next in the Premier League, aren't we? So could be interesting, couldn't it? Redendra says there, Havertz is an Arsenal player, and I'm an Arsenal supporter, so I will not say a bad thing about him. I don't, you don't have to say a bad thing about him, absolutely, but it doesn't, sometimes some Arsenal players, I'm not saying that we shouldn't support them, but if they're not playing well, they're not playing well, and we should be able to say they're not playing well. It doesn't make us less of a supporter to do so, does it? But I totally understand your point 100%. Terry says, so against City, I now expect Havertz to tear them a new one. Now he's scored his first Arteta goal. Yeah, I mean, let's hope he does. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Wayne in the chat, City can't be gold. No, they can't. No one's getting hard. Let's be honest. Nobody's not losing a game. We all know everyone loses a game, and City have done. I mean, we're still unbeaten. Tottenham's still unbeaten. Liverpool's still unbeaten. So maybe someone else might get a goal, but no, they won't. Will they? You're absolutely right. Offro says, Man U fans get in there. Norwich scarves. And of course they will. Yeah, well, they're losing games. They like them Norwich scarves, don't they? And you can't really blame them. Terry says Havertz is a butt spot on. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, but anyway, today's been a good day for Arsenal, hasn't it? They've got some stats now. So we look at the stats, shall we? They're going to put some stats up for us, which we kind of enjoy a few stats, don't we? Why not? Let's have a look at them, shall we? So 58% possession for Arsenal, 15 shots to Arsenal, 8 for Bournemouth, 8 on target for Arsenal, just 1 on target for Bournemouth. Arsenal completed 556 passes to Bournemouth 376. Yeah, it's a comfortable Arsenal victory, isn't it? Redendra says they're not saying playing well and talking bad and different. Well, it is, yeah, I agree, but it's frustrating sometimes, isn't it? Arsenal had 6 corners, Bournemouth had 6 corners. There was just 1 yellow card in that game, and that was, of course, for actually, who got a yellow card? It was an Arsenal player, wasn't it? Saka, wasn't it? Was it Saka that got it? No, it wasn't. It was Kai Havertz, wasn't it, for that foul in the first half? Steve says, big game next week. Absolutely. 100% a massive game next week. Imagine if they lose 2 in a row in the Premier League. Well, that would be a shock, wouldn't it? But anyway, so far they haven't done because we haven't beaten them yet. Sometimes playing Man City when they've just lost isn't always a good time to play them, is it? Because it's not often they lose 2 in a row, let's be honest. But anyway, so that has finished there. A fantastic Arsenal victory in the end, wasn't it? Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 4. 4-0 away wins are quite rare in the Premier League, and obviously really good as well. So we enjoyed that one, didn't we? Nice, comfortable victory. It's what you want to see. We're going to see the league table now as well, which is going to look quite good, isn't it, for Arsenal this evening? Man City are top with 18 points from 7 games. Arsenal second, 17 from 7. Liverpool 16 from 6. Villa 15 from 7. Brighton 15 from 7. Tottenham 14 from 6. They, of course, are playing Liverpool later. At the bottom, Sheffield United 1 from 7. Burnley 1 from 6. Bournemouth now in the bottom 3 from 7. Luton, their first win. They've got 4 from 6. Everton have got 4 from 7, and Chelsea have got 5 from 6. Chelsea are just 2 points off of the relegation zone. They, of course, play Fulham on Monday night. A big game there for Chelsea, isn't it? They're in serious trouble, aren't they? Redendra says there, I had racist remarks at me when I was younger, and that is not different. Well, I mean, I think it is different, isn't it? I think racism is totally different to criticising a footballer for not playing well. I think those two things are not the same, are they? And I think it would be wrong to try to compare them, really. I mean, racism's terrible, and it shouldn't have happened to you. Absolutely not. And that's really bad. But that's a different issue, isn't it, to criticising a player for the way that they're playing on the pitch. I think that it's not the same, is it? Really, I'm not saying it's right to do that. No, I'm not. But ultimately, it's natural, isn't it? When it's your club and it's the player that's playing for your club. If they're not doing what you want them to do, you're going to be upset, aren't you? But anyway, what else have we got in here? Off-road says, yeah, we need Spurs to lose against Liverpool. No, we need a draw, really. I'd say a draw in that game would be good. They both drop points in, don't they? So that's what I like to see. But we'll see what happens on that one. It should be a good game, actually. I might go down and put my fire stick downstairs and watch it down there. While I cook me steak on Saturday. Steak night for me, which is good. So yeah, it's been really good, isn't it? Today we've enjoyed that. Regenda says he's being prejudged because he's from Chelsea. Yes, I would say that's part of it. Bearing in mind some of the recent players that we've had from Chelsea, you can understand that why. But he's also being judged now on what he's doing on the pitch for Arsenal. And I'm not saying he's playing badly. I'm just saying he's not playing brilliantly well for the money that we paid for him. It looks like, if you remember when we bought Nicolas Pepe, there was a lot of pressure on Nicolas Pepe, wasn't there? Because of the price tag on him. He didn't live up to that, did he? And in the end, look where he is now. And it could be a similar thing with Havertz. Havertz needs to do more to justify that and not to go down that Nicolas Pepe route, because that's where he looks like he's heading at the moment. Offo says, you're doing the Lons game? Yep, I'm doing the Lons game on Tuesday. Absolutely looking forward to that. Our first away game in the Champions League since when we lost to Bayern Munich. But I'm sure that won't be a similar result against Lons. That was our very first ever Champions League game, wasn't it? Lons away in 1998. I was at that game. It was a terrible journey there, terrible journey back, but the game was all right, wasn't it? We drew 1-1. Mark Overmars scored, and then they scored, didn't they, in the last minute equaliser. I think that might have been a Martin Keown own goal, from what I remember. But it was a decent enough trip. It just was a bit of a nightmare getting to, and we went on the Arsenal travel thing, and you couldn't go anywhere before the game. They put us straight in the ground at like 3 hours before kick-off or something stupid. But anyway, that was a long time ago, but it was quite exciting. Regenda says Henry too. 10 games before he began to play well for Arsenal. Yeah, he did, but Henry he'd been top scorer at the 98 World Cup. You know, he was a player that Arsene Wenger had managed previously at Monaco, and you kind of felt that that was a key point as well. But Henry was already a top player. You know, I say he was top scorer at the World Cup, so that kind of is a different situation, isn't it? Yes, it took him a while to settle. He was playing in a new position, wasn't he? Arsene Wenger said, right, I'm going to play you as a centre forward. And he had to adapt. And it took him a few games to adapt. Of course it did. It was a game against Derby, wasn't it, when he scored them 2 goals that really settled in for him. But he'd scored goals before. He was a top player. But the key for me was Arsene Wenger had managed him before. And I do think that was important in that whole situation. I remember at the time I wasn't overly concerned about Thierry Henry settling or not settling. You could see he was a great player, even when he wasn't scoring the goals at the beginning. It just wasn't quite happening for him, was it, in front of goal? He was playing well. You could see how great he was, the pace he had and all that kind of stuff. He just couldn't finish. He learnt to finish, and then we know what happened after that, don't we? So I think it's a slightly different situation. Steve says, yeah, he hasn't set the world on fire. No, and he didn't set the world on fire at Chelsea. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? You know, I think if a player comes from a different country into our league, I think we're all prepared to accept that. It might take them a while to adapt to a new league, a new country. And if they take 10 games or 12 games or half a season, we're not surprised by that, are we? But Kai Havertz has been in the Premier League for, 3 years at Chelsea, never really set the world on fire there. So it's not like he's coming on in great form. We know what a great player he is. We don't, because we didn't see it at Chelsea. We're not seeing it at Arsenal. And that's the problem with him. And that's why this situation with Havertz is different, I would say, to the situation before that. Off-road says, I was at the Dell when Henry scored that his first year, so was I. That was a great moment, wasn't it? He did struggle at the beginning, though, didn't he, to get a lot of goals, but you could see what talent he had, what a quality player he was. You could see that straight away, couldn't you? Off-road says, there's strange ground at Dell. You got hanging baskets in it. It was a strange ground. Obviously, wonky stand behind the goal, wasn't it? That kind of went down. I always liked that ground, actually. I thought it was a great little place to watch football. And it was good, wasn't it? We often won 4-0 at Southampton, actually, didn't we? Which is good. Steve says, yeah, let's all be happy 4-0 and beat City. No, indeed, no, I'm happy that we won 4-0. But, you know, these things are still there. They need to be discussed, don't they? Because it's what the show's about. It's about, you know, the comments in in the chats what you guys think as well. So that's important, isn't it? But no, we won 4-0. It's been good, and we all look forward to obviously Champions League night on Tuesday. Lons away. It's going to be good. Again, we can and should win, hopefully, and that gives us 6 points out of 6 in the group and put us in a very strong position to qualify. And then we can have a few days rest ahead of Man City. But before all of that, there's something very, very important that's happening tomorrow. It is the start of the WSL. What a brilliant, brilliant time it's going to be. Arsenal playing Liverpool. We are covering that game on the channel here. 1:45, we'll be live with all your team news, a bit of build up to the game, and then the start of the new WSL season. So excited by that. It's going to be really good. So join me for that, please, tomorrow if you can. And then, of course, Tuesday, Champions League night, Lons away. That's 8 o'clock kickoff, so I'll be live at 7:45 for that one. That is going to be good on Tuesday. Lots to look forward to. And, of course, next Friday, the Arsenal women are back in action away at Manchester United. So lots of great stuff. And don't forget as well, tomorrow we've got Andreas and we've got Harry at the Emirates. They're going to do a vlog for us. So that'll be on the channel as well. So look out for that. That's going to be great. So please check that out as well, which is what we've done. Terry says, great day for you, Steve. Chuff for you, mate. Yeah, Steve's had a great day, hasn't he, with his team winning earlier on as well. Regina says Gilberto was not seen as a brilliant player for Arsenal, but when he was missing, we saw the massive difference. Yeah, Gilberto's role in the team was the Declan Rice role. Before that, the Thomas Partey role in his current team, wasn't it? And, you know, you saw previously when Thomas Partey was out, we missed him. When Declan Rice, if Declan Rice is out, we thought he was going to be out today. We clearly miss him because of what he brings, and that's what Gilberto did. Havertz is a different sort of player, isn't he? You can take Havertz out of the team. You could put Smith Rowe in there, for example, or Fabio Vieira in there, and Trossard, and you wouldn't miss Havertz, would you? Because what he does in the team, it's not like no one else can do that. You know, I think what Declan Rice brings to this team, we don't have another player who can do that, really, do we? Apart from Thomas Partey, maybe they're slightly different players. And that's, you miss a player if you've got no one else that can do that job. That's when you miss them when they're out. William Saliba last season, we missed him when he was out because we didn't have anybody else who could come into the defence and do that job. Does that mean that, you know, other players aren't as good or better? It's just the role that they play, isn't it, in the team, each individual player. And Kai Havertz can be replaced and we wouldn't miss him because we've got other players who can do the same job that he does. Maybe some could do it better. Maybe some would do it worse. We don't know because at the moment they're not really been given that chance, are they? Because Havertz is playing, and that's kind of what we are with that. Offo says, remember Winterburn really winding up the away fans at the Dell. Yeah, it was easy to do that, wasn't it? Because you were so close to the pitch, wasn't you? I mean, I used to love all them old stadiums, you know. When you was right next to the pitch, it was brilliant, wasn't it? West Ham's old ground, obviously Southampton, so many of them, weren't they? It was just brilliant to be. You really felt involved, didn't you? Whereas now on some of the grounds, you know, if you're in the seat in row Z, you don't feel really part of it. You're miles away from the pitch, and I don't know, it's not quite the same, is it? Regina says, yeah, Vieira was able to move forward due to Gilberto, how he challenged and won the board. No, you're right. Gilberto was a fantastic player for us, wasn't he? He did such a brilliant job in that role, and it did allow other players around him to contribute as well. But I don't see Havertz really doing that. I don't see Havertz making any difference to that. You know, Erdegaard's always had that impact going forward. He did last season, and he will continue to do that anyway. You know, Declan Rice has got that, offers us that stability in midfield that we need. Without Thomas Partey, I mean, I think Declan Rice is better actually. But so that's that role there. What is Havertz's actual role in that team? You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, say today he's almost playing in the Granit Xhaka role. Granit Xhaka did that job better. We're missing Granit Xhaka in midfield because Kai Havertz is there. We wouldn't miss Kai Havertz in that position if he wasn't there, because someone else would come in. Vieira would come in and do that job, or I say Smith Rowe or Trossard, and we could, you know, we've got players who can do that role. And I think when Thomas Partey's fit, if Arteta doesn't stick him at right back again, you've got Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard will be your three midfield. But anyway, Terry says, I'm glad we won 4-0, but 4-1 would have been perfect. It would have been perfect for you, yeah, because you put that prediction. I said 3-0, so I wasn't far off either, was I? But no one mentions that. Then everyone says, "Oh, Terry was close because he said 4-1." Well, I said 3-0, so I was only 1 goal out as well. And in fact, the fourth goal came in stoppage time. Which Andrew said 3-0 as well, so we were closer as well. But don't give us any credit, will you? Now Terry gets all the credit for being wrong. We were wrong, so where's our credit? We were 1 goal wrong. So we need some credit as well. Agenda says Terry lost 1 goal off and so losses. But yeah, we were 1 goal off as well, Agenda, wasn't we? Exactly the same. So there you go. Terry says, don't rub it in. I'm a bad loser. Well, yeah, but anyway. Steve says, yeah, you got close. But anyone on here thought, you thought 2-0, but 2-0 was 2 goals out. We was 1 goal out. So close, wasn't it? There you go. Vijendra says, don't worry, I only thought 3-0. We are thought 3-0 as well. So there you go. Terry says, replace Havertz with Win the Dog. Well, yeah, Win the Dog would run around a lot, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. He'd chase after the ball, wouldn't he? Because I'm sure he does that quite a bit. Vijendra says, I hope Saka is not badly injured. Yeah, I mean, he limped off again. But we've seen that before, haven't we? He limps off and then he's fine, isn't he? He's fine the next day. He's got a massive quick recovery time, hasn't he, Bukayo Saka? How he does it, I'm not sure. It's good that he does. Steve says the dog's fit and ready. The dog's always fit and ready. Absolutely no problem at all. Terry says, see, at least I had faith in Arsenal scoring 4. No, you did, and at least you got that scored right. But you said Bournemouth would score as well, and they did. So we got that right because we said 3-0. So there you go. Steve said, I didn't think 4, no way, 2 or 3. Yeah, I didn't think 4. We got 4, which is good. Which is nice. Steve says, without Martinelli and Trossard, yeah, exactly. But let's be honest, Bournemouth wasn't up to much, were they? Let's be totally honest. Bournemouth are very poor. They've got no attacking threat whatsoever. Some of their defending wasn't great either. We'll take it. We played well. We won 4-0, but let's not get over the top. We've beaten Bournemouth, who are not very good. Terry says you two didn't have faith in Arsenal scoring 4. Scoring 3 is easy. Well, I would say it's easy, but no, you're right. I didn't think we'd score 4. No, and we did. So that's good, isn't it? Off us to see you midweek. Indeed, we will, my friend. Good to see you again. Hope you're well. And we will see you on Tuesday for the Champions League game. Of course, we will, which is going to be good. Steve says they're not with that team, Terry. No, I didn't think we'd score 4, but we did. And we won 4-0, and it's been great. So that's that then. A nice, comfortable win for Arsenal down on the south coast in the sunshine. Perfect away performance in many ways. Saka with the first goal, 2 penalties either side of half time from Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz. And then in stoppage time, Ben White with a header to make it 4-0. And yeah, it was comfortable a victory as you're going to get away from home in the Premier League, let's be honest. But no, that's not strictly true, is it? Because Newcastle won 8-0 last week against Sheffield United. That's as comfortable a victory as you'll get. But this was pretty good, wasn't it? This was a nice, comfortable victory. And it moves Arsenal up to second place in the league, which is the point behind Man City now. And of course, we play them, don't we, next week? So that is going to be an incredible game next Sunday, isn't it? 4:30 at the Emirates. But lots to come before that. Anyway, lots and lots of great stuff to come. Tomorrow, WSL opener, Arsenal women versus Liverpool from the Emirates. 1:45 will be here. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be fantastic. Arsenal hopes to start the season with a big victory. Then, of course, Tuesday, the Champions League, as we've said, Lons away for Arsenal. We'll be here at 7:45 for that one. Please join me for that. Friday, there won't be any Arsenal women's show on Friday because the Arsenal women are actually playing away at Manchester United. What a big game that is so early in the season. So join us for that one. That kicks off at 7:30. So we'll be at 7:15 for that one as well. And, of course, next Sunday, wow, the big game, Manchester City, Arsenal versus Manchester City at the Emirates. 4:30 on Sunday, so join us for that as well. All great stuff. There's going to be so much more to come, isn't there? So please give us a like before you go, and please subscribe to the channel as well, because so much coming on. Vijendra says, see you tomorrow at the Emirates for the best ladies team in the world. Absolutely, the best ladies team in the world are playing tomorrow at the Emirates. We are so looking forward to that. Steve says, I catch plane tomorrow. You need to catch the plane today because it takes like 24 hours to fly from Australia, isn't it? So if you want to get here on time, you will have to you'll have to leave. Well, you should have left yesterday, quite honestly, because I don't think you'll get a flight now to get there in time, will you, for the game? But anyway, join me instead. Come and join us on the channel. We're going to enjoy that tomorrow. and there'll be some great vlogging going up from the guys as well from the ground. So good stuff indeed. So join us all for that tomorrow. We are looking forward to that. But today, the men have won 4-0. We're second in the league. Saka, Ødegaard, Havertz and White. 4 different goal scorers as well. If we'd had another 4 different goal scorers, we'd have matched Newcastle last week, wouldn't we? But Bournemouth aren't quite as terrible, are they, as Sheffield United? But we've won 4-0, which we'll take all day long, which will be good. Steve says, yeah, so who's next? Well, I say next is the women tomorrow, isn't it? And then Lons on Tuesday night in the Champions League. So lots of great stuff coming up. So I say, please join us for all of that. Please like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow at 1:45. Can't wait for that. We're so looking forward to the start of this WSL season. Is it going to be the full sweep of the weekend? The Arsenal men winning, the Arsenal women winning, and we enjoy our weekend, don't we? Steve says, women versus who? Versus Liverpool. Tomorrow, 1:45 our time. I don't know what time it is where you are. Probably stupid o'clock in the night time, won't it? It'll be. But yeah, it's 2 o'clock kickoff. Arsenal versus Liverpool. So join us for that because it's going to be good. Redemption says, come on, you Gunners. Yeah, come on, you Gunners. Enjoy the game tomorrow, my friend, at the stadium. Really going to be exciting, isn't it? Big crowd, 50,000 potentially or more. Wow. So that's going to be good. So join us tomorrow at 1:45 for that big game. And yeah, a good Arsenal win today. We enjoyed that, didn't we? It's what we want to see. A few more of those victories for us this season would be nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, don't forget to do this, of course, to make sure that you subscribe. Or is it this one? I can't remember which one it was now. Oh, that one. It's all the same. And this is important as well. Really important, that is, because why not? You're here, you enjoyed it, give us a like. That's what you want. But Dennis says, well, yeah, see you later, mate. See you well, I might not see you tomorrow, but we'll see you soon. Terry says, great show, Richard. Take care. Enjoy today. Yeah, today's been good. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Everything else, I'll see you tomorrow. Arsenal won 4-0. We're second in the league. Wow. We'll enjoy that, won't we? Take it easy, guys. Speak to you tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners. What a day it's been. And it's going to be even better tomorrow, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go and watch Tottenham against Liverpool now because that's going to be quite good.